Well, it's been a while, and also I've been to two conventions.
It's been 2.5 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Yeah, I've seen one of you twice since then. For a concept of how time works.
I've seen none of you since... Well, no, that's not true. I've seen Rumi and Theo.
I think I saw you since our last recording, didn't I?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Because it was like right
Never
before.
Mind.
Yeah.
I think my brain just automatically went to, I haven't seen anybody since I got up here.
Fair enough. But yeah, we are back. We are past a few last minute surprises that knocked off our schedules for a bit. Between work doom and car accident doom and whatnot dooms, I think we're finally back to Dungeons and Dragons and Doom and drives-ins and can't drive anymores and dives. Yeah. So yeah, as a recap, last session was the shopping episode without actually shopping. But yeah, it started out with everybody saying their goodbyes with Vivi as she was heading back to London, and then splitting up to go do different business. Aiden met up with Soren and learned a little bit more about the Drider incident and his poor horse situation and all of that. Everyone else went to check in on the progress for Penelope's crafting requisition from the night before, and then you, as a group, went over to check in with the local potion shop, which it turns out is run by Valeria's parents. Aiden achieved a supernatural cake.
Yes!
Which is fun times.
It's gonna be great times.
Should be interesting. You learned a little bit more about the political situation in the area, just a little bit. Some of the people that were part of the maybe we can migrate to the other side of the world party are a bit more hesitant now that they've been reminded that giant scary monsters live on the other side of the world. So, land sharks and whatnot. And then you went to the local tailor, where you discovered that the tailor was among the people who was teleported to Germany. So you walked around, you tried on some stuff, left some money on the table, as I recall. And then as soon as you stepped out to go wander a little bit more, you found Lucretia, the dead apostle that you met in France. And upon seeing her, she mentioned that she was here to see Grandpap. And then you decided you'd probably be better to not have conversations out in the street. So you asked her to step inside with you at the empty tailor place. And that's kind of where we paused, because felt like an exposition dump was coming and it was late.
Yeah, exposition dump.
Yep.
I'm ready.
I think that about sums it up. Fair warning to the entire world. A number of Fantasy Ground updates have happened since then. So if anything is weird, we'll figure it out together.
Right.
Like, I noticed that there are different buttons on the right side of the screen for me. So I assume that you also have those.
Maybe? I
think they reorganized things. So they have camp now.
Camp?
For campaign. It's just abbreviated to camp for me.
Oh.
Which was confusing.
Weird.
Character became Char, so it's a Gundam thing.
Char. Oh, I see. If you condense down the menu, which I just realized I could do.
Yeah, that's a new thing. You can condense it down.
I like it. I recommend it. It makes things a lot easier.
Yeah.
Char.
Turn the map into a black void until I scroll in or out, though.
Yeah. But hey, that's cool. Not the void, but...
I love that.
There's a lot of cuteness to it that we're going to be learning as we go, I'm sure. there were a number of network updates to it, which hopefully will not surprise us in bad ways, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, here we are, back in the game again.
Yay.
Anybody have any questions or housekeeping? I know that after the last time, I think we discovered that some of you had more spells to prep than they realized.
Oh Lord,
Um,
please let me look at my spells again. Dear God. Oh. Oh no, I added them. I did add
You
them.
already
I
did?
should
Okay,
make
cool.
sure they're yeah, because I remember us talking about that, and then also realizing I was like, there was like 3 extra spells. Oh, thank Jesus.
Gotta watch out for those prepared casters.
Lord. Oh. Yeah. Okay, yeah, they're all in here.
All right, you good? Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, in that case, unless anyone has any reason, we can just start up again.
Let's go.
So, a lot of you had anything that you wanted to raise with me? It's been, what, a week?
Hi,
You
yes,
know-
my first time meeting you.
Oh, that's a fair point. Hold on. Better question from her part. Hello, Centaur.
Hello, Miss Dead Apostle Ancestor Lady. How do you do?
I'm doing well. I see that your new friends have told you a bit about me.
Yes, actually, yes. Hi, I've been meaning to meet you. Question for you.
God.
That's usually how it starts.
Yes.
I
well,
will
you
not eat
see-
you.
Oh, that wasn't my question.
Good.
I figured it's the land shark thing. So yes, you have I guess a coworker, a colleague, who's currently in the body of a new friend. How does one just, what's the word I'm looking for? Exorism him out of that body?
Exercise?
Exercise. Not like, the workout. I mean, it probably is going to be a workout, but like,
You're
I need
looking
him.
to separate a dead apostle from their host.
Yes, because I'm pretty sure he tricked this poor kid. He's not the brightest bulb. And it seems like he had no idea he made a deal with this guy. And I'd prefer if he didn't die because he's a good kid, and I'm not okay with this. So how do I like genie and a bottle this guy out of him into something else? That's not a person particularly, or at least an alive person. Does it have to be an alive person? Can't he just be in like, I don't know,
I assume
a
you're referring
conduit?
to someone being
Einosh?
possessed by Einosh.
Einosh, yeah. His
Based
name,
on-
his
Yes.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, that's a bit complicated. The way that Einosh works, like each of us work a bit differently, but the way that the tree works is that it spreads its spores, and whenever its current vessel dies, it moves to another one.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Oddly enough, if you're looking to get that body back to someone, that could be a
Yes.
bit more challenging. You may have used the appropriate words when you said genie in a bottle.
So I can bottle him up because I've got one of his beholders in a bottle right now, and he just like pulls out the little thing. I want to do this. I want to do this right here. How do I do that?
More a matter of you might need the assistance of a genie in a bottle. This is a much more complicated thing. You would need to separate out your friend,
Yes.
your new friend,
Yes. His
And-
name is Clover. Yes.
Clover. You would need to find a way to separate Clover from Einosh within the body that he's in right now. And
Yeah.
if he truly entered a deal, whether or not he understood it, with Einosh, then the body belongs to the both of them. And
Is there?
you would need to probably create a separate body and move one of them into it.
Well, let's. Okay, so it could be like you could quote unquote like like A body that's not particularly a person, because, you know, that's kind of messed up. You know, something that can hold him and contain his magic. I don't know, like, again, like a conduit.
It's a bit difficult to contain a dead apostle.
Is there a way that, you know, if they're going to live together, if they decide to 50-50 for him to not kill off the person in there, like, you know, just contain himself?
Are you looking to change your friend into a timeshare?
I mean, if that's what he wants, I would just prefer if the innocent party that is a very sweet individual not die because of a shady person that did not, you know, it's like, hey, I'm gonna do things with your body that I am pretty sure he has no idea.
So when Inosh moves to a new host, it kills the old one.
Or he moves because they're dying. That's the real question.
He typically moves to a new host when the old one dies.
So it's not a side effect. Could we maybe perhaps get him to move into a homunculus?
That's...
I guess that would be up to him. As mentioned, like, something that has come into contact with his spores would be the next possible host.
I mean, technically, we've all come in contact with the spores, so that's a problem.
Have you now?
I mean,
takes a step back.
I would assume when he had the giant trees were spewing spores. Or is it a different type of spore?
Did he produce the spores, or did his trees produce the spores?
The trees? No, no, Anise and I got hit by his spores.
And before that, everyone else did as well in the hotel room.
I also had extra hitting. He had a trap thing.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I believe you should probably get that checked out.
Well, I'm glad we brought that up.
Shortage of druids who can check that.
Grandpap did as well.
We'll let him know he should probably get that checked out. Which brings me
to we need to go get that checked out.
Yeah.
That's not even we need to let someone...
No, I'm saying we need to let him know, because he's probably the person... Yeah, he probably has no idea.
He may have some idea.
It would definitely be problematic if he were to possess Alder, as I'm actually here to speak with him.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah, he did get hit too. Which brings me to my next question. So you think he will come back? For today, for the meeting? Because obviously... Inosh.
I don't know what his motivations are. Quite frankly, Inosh itself is still a tree. It acts very much on bestial instincts, but when it has a host, that tends to direct it to some extent. I would wager your friend, however well-meaning, probably believed in something very seriously, and that is currently directing the Dead Apostle itself to some extent.
Okay. Which is why he felt like he was doing right.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's exactly what I wanted to know. You know, actually, another question. Where could I look to find said one genie in a bottle? Any ideas? Any areas?
I have no idea where you would find such a thing.
Cool.
I know that there's a ritual coming up in which someone might get a wish. Beyond that, if I knew where a genie with a wish was, I would probably use it myself.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you're talking about the Penelope. It was the what's the word? The Holy Grail War, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you trying to make a wish, lady, ma'am, Miss? What's her?
Lucretia.
Miss Lucretia.
I will be participating. Yes. It is
Her goal
important to our objectives that it occur.
Okay. That was the next question. Okay. Good.
It's actually part of what brings me here. I'm going to need your grandfather's assistance to make it possible.
Really? Are you suggesting that you want him to participate, or...
I don't suspect he would want to participate. I just need his assistance with the transfer of the ritual from its original form to the one that we need to use to make it possible now. It involves someone who's got a bit of expertise with the command spells.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The previous expert on this disappeared, so we had to do a bit of digging to find out who we'd worked with to develop them.
I see.
So,
Well, like I said, he is currently in Germany, but should be coming back at some point, so all we can really do is wait for him.
That is fair.
so is
So
this
how much
all
damage did Inosh do to your village?
Well, could have
We
been
contained
worse.
We contained it, yeah.
He planted, what, 12 trees?
11. We don't know if there's
11
12
trees?
still. Yeah.
No, he planted 10, and then we had a seed that never sprouted, right?
Yeah, because the 11th was the one that I had, but we don't know if it seemed like there was half a dozen, so there's one particularly still missing. We don't know if he has it, if it's anywhere else, but it's not here, as far as we know.
Point is, he planted a bunch of fucking trees and then teleported like half of the freaking, like, anybody who was in the inn over to Germany, and then
Oh, and he's, of course, responsible for the tree in Germany that almost
yeah.
completely wrecked the Einsburn castle and Bounded Field and all that, so it was fun to learn.
I'm pretty sure
he's doing what he can to cut off the links to the original ritual then.
Oh.
So he's trying to stop this. Is what I'm
Stop
hearing.
it or shape it.
Oh.
In order
Yeah,
for
because
us to
the
successfully...
drain on mana should be affecting him too, so why would he be trying to stop it? But he's probably trying to use it to his own ends, whatever that may be.
He may be trying to co-opt it, or he may just consider the ritual to be a risk that needs to be stopped based on the damage that the previous instances of it brought about. It's not a complex thinker.
What is he actually trying to do? What are his motivations for all this? Do you have any idea?
So, each Dead Apostle was originally created with the goal of protecting the planet. Not the people on it, the planet itself. And over time, they were corrupted, one way or another. Inosh is not in its original state. It was once actually somewhat more humanoid, and when it was killed, its essence and its origin flowed into a nearby tree, which is what became the current incarnation of it. And my understanding is that the tree, being somewhat simpler of mind, maybe inherited some of its responsibilities without proper reasoning to do more than very blunt actions, and it's only through its current host that it gets anything beyond screaming at the void. My assumption, if your friend was recently possessed, was that it got its current marching orders, so to speak, from its previous host, who is, I would assume it has moved on from, if your friend was newly possessed.
About a year's in, yeah, from the timeline of things.
He's a bit of a mess maker. If I knew a way to kill him, I'd do it myself. I've killed enough versions of it over time, and after a while, it feels a bit futile. So I've instead tried to simply keep tabs on what it's doing and redirect things around it accordingly. It just takes some time. Whenever one version of it dies, I have to wait for an incident to find the next one.
You mentioned the ritual and how He seems to be cutting off the old one. What was the old one, and is the new one specifically the one you have to do, or everybody has to do now?
I'm not sure how familiar you are with the old ritual. She kind of looks to the lot of you to get an idea of what you know, because she knows that she spoke a little bit with Anise and Penelope about it.
Let's see if this was covered in that one class.
I was about to say, yeah, we don't know much else other than what Waver told us.
Yeah.
I mean, and then there's...
Intelligence.
I mean, I guess I know a little more, because there's the...
Holy shit.
Oh, shit.
Why is
We're
it...
-1?
Why? This is literally the second time where, like, this one class, has been, like, the best learning experience of his life, because I've gotten 2 nat 20s.
That's
Wait,
pretty
her
good.
the
head of a
19s.
teacher.
He's a great teacher. So I just look at her. What do I know?
Okay.
What have I learned?
Yeah, you can remember a lot of what Waver said, even if some of it didn't make sense to you at the time. You know that it was a ritual in Fuyuki where heroic spirits were summoned, and that the winner gets a wish, and that every time they've tried to do it, it has gone badly, and the last 2 instances have resulted in destruction to the city, including the mystery of what happened a year ago.
Yeah, but Fuyuki, if I recall correctly, was the exact city it had to be done in, and
yes,
it's just
every
gone
time it was done in Fuyuki.
Okay, so that's what she's saying. She needs
Yep.
a new one. It's because Fuyuki isn't there, and he's gonna be like, "This is why, right?"
We suffer a bit from the fact that while parts of the city are certainly still intact, the ritual site itself is missing. And
There's also a dead zone of magic, isn't there?
Yes, it would be difficult to perform any ritual that would require that amount of mana there. What we're trying to do is instead take the mana that is being channeled into some sort of wish now and redirect it to something that it can fulfill. And in doing so, end that ritual entirely before it drains mana from the entire region and the planet itself. We don't know what happened in the last Grail War, but we know that if someone won, they made a wish that was too big. And we need that to stop.
So you can redirect that magic that's being pulled, then, is what you're saying.
We're going to try.
With a new wish.
With a new wish.
Our hope is that if we can convince the existing ritual that it's not finished yet, by essentially starting another Grail War, then it will supersede what it's trying to do at the moment. And it would use the mana that it's been stealing from Fuyuki for the past year to begin a new one much faster rather than waiting the normal 60 or so years it takes.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
It's important to us that we convince the ritual itself that things are still going as planned, which means that we have to meet all the requirements of it, including the 3 seats that are reserved for the founding families of the Fuyuki ritual. That is why we need to convince it that someone who is affiliated with the provider of the command spells is related to it, even if they're not participating themselves. We're kind of tricking the system. We're hacking it in the blunt modern parlance. But if it thinks that each of the founders are represented, then from there we would need to make sure that the conditions of the last Grail War's invitations are met, which would involve 2 invitations going to Clock Tower, 3 going to the founding families, and 2 more going to wherever the Grail decides is appropriate.
I guess.
As things stand, we feel that the Edelfelt should be able to fulfill the requirement of the Tosaka family, given they are related.
That's actually what I was going to ask.
We feel the Einsburns, in light of the fact that you've prevented their total destruction, should be able to participate either directly or through a proxy. They've done it before. They should be able to do it again.
That's why she.
And we feel that your grandfather should be able to, whether or not he's happy about it, act as a stand-in for the Makiri line, who provided the command spells. From there, each of them would have a designee. 2 additional invitations would go to Clock Tower, one of which I'm claiming for myself as someone who is technically a member of Clock Tower. The other would go to Clock Tower proper for them to distribute accordingly. And the final 2 would go to whoever the Grail picks.
So, question. How does how does the Grail pick? Can we ask the Grail to give us an entry?
You can try. My understanding is that the Grail will choose based on whatever sentience is still within it from the people who created it. I know that based on Lord El-Melloi's research in the past, when there are extra seats, they go to interesting places. So, don't know what criteria it uses to pick these things, and I would not jeopardize the entire operation by trying to force it. But presumably someone who has a wish and can convince a servant to join them and knows the proper ritual for summoning could try to get in.
Yeah, because I know he mentioned that he kind of took his. So I was like, was that after that you can do that after something's been chosen, or like you have to get chosen to be able to take the thing?
I suspect that the Grail will probably fill in gaps if they are not taken by people who are choosing to participate. But that would be assuming the decision-making process of something that none of us truly understand properly. I think the closest ones to understanding it would be the Einspurns as they created it.
My notebook.
However, again, the families themselves do not need to be participants, so if you would like to go petitioning the Einspurns, or I guess your grandfather, you are welcome to it. Just keep in mind that this is a contest where the easiest path to victory is to kill the other masters. And I, for one, don't intend to be killed.
That actually brings up a question. You're going under Grandpaps then? Like you're taking that slot?
I'm
No, I
taking one of
believe
the
he
clock
was-
tower slots.
You're taking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Clock Tower is what you said. Okay. So then you would work in tangent with the family that he would quote unquote have someone represent, because he doesn't seem like someone who would participate.
That would be either up to him or up to someone connected to him, whether it's another druid or someone in his family or simply a designee. Like, as mentioned, the Einspurns literally hired someone once, so don't think you need a direct connection. You just need the Grail to acknowledge that someone is acting on the behalf of one of these families.
Gotcha.
Personally, I would not encourage attempting to enter this unless you're willing to kill for it. While I have no intention of dying, if and when I enter, if my servant is defeated, I will be stepping back and trying not to die for the duration. But if I also get the impression that someone's going to make a wish that will endanger the planet, it will be my duty to ensure that does not happen.
And I take it, like, this is the major focal point of this coming meeting, is you bringing this up to them and trying to figure out who's taking that spot, I would assume. Besides, tree things and Dinosh, for reasons.
My purpose for being here is speaking with your grandfather to make sure that this happens at all. I will speak to the extent that I will encourage anyone present who becomes part of the ritual, one way or another, to keep in mind that it is dangerous, and that if they do anything to endanger the world, such as, say, making an incredibly large wish that might drain the world of its mana to turn everyone into an elf or something, that they reconsider.
I feel like it's a horrible wish.
There are some
Yeah,
people who would consider it a gift.
Hmm.
They're not the types you want to win, generally speaking.
Oh.
Would you be willing to kill 6 people to make a wish and save your friend?
I have made it clear that I am not killing anybody. There are ways to do it without killing. I don't just take easy paths, okay?
You
That's
definitely would not be.
No. It doesn't have to always be easy. But if you're willing to do it, then you can do it. So.
It's an admirable mindset.
It is my way of doing things. Now, I will say, if there is a situation, say, where my friends are in danger, then I would put myself in between that. But I am not killing just for the sake of something being easier to obtain because of it. That is not happening, and I refuse. And I've made that clear, and I will stand by that.
Fair enough.
So,
well,
yes, I would like to join.
Should you achieve the ability to summon a servant, I hope you find a servant who agrees with you. Otherwise, you'll be using those command spells very quickly. Because most historical heroes are willing to kill.
Well, they're going to have to align with my ideology, or we're going to have problems. And I will unsummon them if I need to.
That would be bold indeed. Also, in the meta sense, if you end up summoning a berserker, I'm going to laugh my ass off for like 3 days.
I was about to say that. Go for a berserker and you're probably okay.
Look, if it's big, soft, precious boy, I will take him with no questions asked.
Oh my god.
Which berserker is that?
The one I sent, my favorite berserker.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. That's the one berserker where I'd be like, yes. I feel like that would actually work out.
Should be an interesting journey indeed.
It'd be great. I would journal the whole thing. But no, yeah, like straight up, he's just like, I want to join, and I'll do what I need to join because obviously things need to be fixed. I agree with you on that, and I don't trust them. And he just like points off into the distance.
Points at Anise.
No, not points at like the direction of fucking club leader do nothing's house.
Oh.
Just points off to Scribe's place. Like, I don't trust them. So sometimes you just got to do things yourself for the greater good.
What you would wish for of UN?
To repair the damage by the last wish? Yes, absolutely.
Well, if you make any wish, we think that should suffice for ceasing the ongoing destruction. The idea is to stop it from stealing mana from the world and the other side of it through these bubbles.
So,
by making any wish that can be achieved.
Do you think a smaller version of just things being fixed would be better than asking it to fix what it did, because potentially it could just suck more mana then? Is that what you're getting at?
That is a metaphysical question for someone larger than I am. I feel
like we really
as strange as it is, if you were to win the Grail War and wish for a cupcake, you would probably stop the problem.
Okay, but literally, can I do that? Because I might. No, I'm joking. I would not do that.
Well, okay. Honestly, I really feel like we do need to find a genie in a bottle as planks. From what I know, they're really great about like loopholes and like things going crazy with wishes in general. I feel like they're like the number one that'd be like, yes, this would be a good idea, or no, this would be a bad idea. So I feel like this is now also on my to-do list.
Find a genie.
Find a genie, get his counseling. Don't ask for any wishes. Like, just be like, hey, from your knowledge, what would you do? what would you do if someone wished for this?
Like, get a
Well-
consulting genie.
Yeah, it's like the lawyer version. It's just like, oh yes,
You-
Mr. Hierophant, do you have a genie in your firm?
You could
Honestly,
also
now.
just ask Mr. Hierophant. But I think what Lucretia is getting at is you could win the war and wish on the Grail for Einosh to fuck off, basically. And that would also fix the
But-
mana problem.
But it doesn't fix. Would it fix the broken ley lines? Like, would it allow them to repair themselves at least?
They should.
Well, if it wasn't draining the mana, then over time they would presumably
Okay,
go back
so it's
to
not
normal,
a
yes.
permanent. Okay.
Our assumption is that when a wish is made and it is no longer trying to gather the mana to create a wish, it will dissipate back within the system.
Okay. I wasn't sure if the ley lines were permanently damaged afterwards or if it's just only because of the draining.
My understanding is that it's simply the draining is what's happening, and by extension, if it stops draining, they'll have the ability to recover it. Similar to how when you take water out of a lake or something,
Okay.
and then the lake is dry and things are terrible and life starts to die. But
But it
if
rains.
water is then allowed to return to the lake,
Yeah.
eventually over time, it can recover.
Okay, okay. But Fuyuki would still be gone forever.
We don't know what happened to the parts of it that are missing.
Okay.
I have theories,
Biggest-
but I'm not entirely sure. I don't think they were destroyed.
You think they were taken somewhere else?
I think so. My theory is that some of these bubbles that we've been seeing around the world, where holes to the other side are appearing, might also be a sign that perhaps in Fuyuki areas of it were taken to another place entirely. So rather than destroyed, perhaps the wish was simply to go somewhere. And pieces of it were taken away to other textures within the world.
Another plane of existence.
Interesting theories. I like those. I like those.
It's a bit
Yeah.
challenging for us to prove that, obviously, as everyone who goes to Fuyuki, at least in my neighborhood of the metaphysical world, nearly suffocates. I've not been there myself since things got to such an extent, and I have no real desire to go and find out myself. Though I have certainly sent people on my behalf, and they have reported that it is incredibly thin and difficult to practice much of anything resembling magic or magecraft, or even the traits that are present within my people, which operate on
Gotcha.
slightly different rules, but ultimately the same power source.
Whew.
I kind of like asked a lot of questions. It kind of turns to Penelope and Anna, so I was like, do you have any questions you want to ask?
I mean, I like I've got questions, but there's stuff I'd rather talk to her about in private, to be honest.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Do you have any more questions, Anise?
I was mostly joking. I asked how she's been since France. It's been, what, a week?
Bit busy. I've been traveling around Europe a bit trying to sort this thing out. If anything, the stuff that I just told you is what I've learned since then, as I didn't know all of this at the time. These bubbles are a relatively new occurrence. I checked one out. I went inside. That was something.
Oh, went inside it?
Yes.
You didn't suffocate?
No, I can handle the mana on the reverse side of the world. That said, I chose not to stay there very long. It's an atypical place.
Weird question.
I prefer to work in a world where I understand the rules.
Did you go in there just straight up, or did you have to wear a suit or anything to go through?
I walked through myself.
Okay.
Well, with the caveat of I'm not sure how familiar you are with the abilities of dead apostles, but I surrounded myself with a marble phantasm to ensure that nothing happened to my physical form at the time.
That. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna roll an Arcana check because I keep forgetting I'm a fucking Arcana
There you go.
spellcaster. Fucking hell.
I'll
Roll,
roll
please.
I'll
I
roll
know.
just to be like, yeah,
No.
do I understand?
Penelope, please.
There we go. I don't know.
I'm like,
actually,
I know what a marble phantasm is. I don't know if Penelope does.
right. This is one of those where Penelope might have heard the word once, but it's a little fuzzy right now. Oddly enough, Anise would be more likely to know because it's something that druids would talk about sometimes. Because ultimately, dead apostles are nature. They're elementals. A marble phantasm is what happens when a dead apostle of sufficient power shapes the way the world works around them. Like, it's different from a reality marble.
Yeah.
The short version of it is a reality marble is what happens when someone changes the world. Like, they take the world from inside themselves and bring it out so that other people can visit. Whereas a marble phantasm is literally, you're connected to Earth. You change what Earth is right now. At least in that location.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's something that Anise would know is also a pretty big deal, because it's something that's really just something dead apostles and some divine spirits can do. But just a reminder that you're dealing with someone incredibly dangerous. She could change the rules of reality around you right now if she really wanted to.
Look, she backed away from us, so I think we're the danger to her currently. So
she does not want your cooties.
That's fair. I don't want these cooties either. He's gotten like 3 doses of these cooties, and he's like, I'm gonna go to a doctor.
I guess that answers the question of, could a dead apostle infect another dead apostle? That would be
it really does.
bad.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
Actually, that is a good question. How medically inclined does one need to be to remove these cooties? Because I am absolutely not a druid. I'm gonna be upfront with you.
You can roll medicine.
Yeah, I could roll medicine. That's my jam. 20.
You both hit a 13. Right. Nice.
I'm gonna roll 2 just for the shits and giggles.
Sure.
Oh, well.
Definitely some giggles.
I mean,
it's like, could you put a Band-Aid on it?
You know that spores are definitely a thing that can grow inside of a host, functionally speaking. And if you get them while they're really small, you can treat it with medicine. If you don't, you treat it with medicine and extraction.
Well, I was thinking,
but that's normal stuff, not this.
Yeah, that's why I was like, would I need more magic involved, or could I use a concoction that he would make? Because again, he's a fucking doctor.
So you're asking her about the removal process?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm not a druid. I'm actually I'm a healer. I'm a doctor, so to say. Is that a healer? Cleric. I'm learning new words on the human side. It's been fun. A healer. Yes. Can I extract this by normal means, or am I gonna have to do this more magically?
If you inhaled the spores of Inage to some extent, I suspect that you would need something a bit more supernaturally potent to remove it. It is not my area of expertise, but I suspect that her grandfather would know a bit more about such things.
You know what? This would be considered poison, wouldn't it?
Let me get you.
Can you tell if it's still in there? Are you able to sense it? If I were to try and remove it, say from Anise currently.
That's not my area of expertise, but I can attempt to sense if there's a dead apostle in you. Would you like me to confirm your friend Anise is not secretly Inage?
No, because if it's just the
confirm
spores.
that?
Well, I mean, yeah, you could. I mean, if you... Anise, you got something to say?
With my roll, I know it was lower than Aiden's, but would I know perhaps if that could be something we could fix with a potion?
So I'm making sure that the rules match how I think they do.
Because if this is considered a poison, I'm about to lesser restoration on our asses.
Yeah, Sam.
I'm like, I got
mean-
3. I can cover the 3 of us. That'll be all my second spells for the
So
day.
lesser restoration gets rid of
Blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned.
blind, deaf, and paralyzed, poison, or disease,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which is nice. I'm checking to see how D&D classifies.
I was like, if I gotta go higher
I think
than
it does
that,
treat it as a poison, but I'm just gonna confirm.
Yeah, because that's what I would consider it as, but I just wanted to double
Or a
check. So I was
disease.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. I just was like, I don't have removal of curses, but I was like, I don't consider that a curse on me right now. I was like,
Mhm.
Right. Yeah,
No,
I'm
if I had
looking
to
just
bet,
because
I'd
they
say it would be
changed how that
disease.
worked for 5e, and I want to make sure that it's
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
using
I
the
just,
right information.
I just did not for today take the remove curse. But I will lesser restoration all of our asses right the fuck now. I'll be like, yeah, cleric powers.
I believe I have it too, actually, so I could get like
Oh,
Johnny,
did
Derek.
you prepare it? Yeah.
Let me look. I know I have access to it. I don't know if I prepared it.
Yeah, I definitely prepared it today.
Okay, I can't
I said
immediately
after
see anything,
I
but
have
I'm
it.
just gonna say that they count as a within that purview because it would be a dumb technicality if I'm not.
You
So,
prepared
yeah,
it?
lesser restoration would
it.
presumably help you with this if that's what you want to do.
I feel like after Johnny turned to stone, we were like, all of us are just like, we're just gonna have this on the side. This said the curses and shit.
It's an important spell.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, actually, hold on.
Could
a
you
second.
not, Aiden, could you not do that thing where you can sense? No, wait. Anise doesn't know about that. Never mind.
Nope. He just knows that at one point he got overwhelmed. I was thinking about it, but I gotta see what level spell it is. Because if it's also a second, then I'm out. I'm tapped out with 3.
Like technically, if you want to make your
Actually-
life easier, if you have detect poison and disease, you could just cast that.
Well, I might have that.
It's I don't think I put that one for
It's
the
on
day.
cleric, druid, paladin, ranger list.
Yeah,
Nope,
I
I
don't
don't
know if you have
have
it today, but
not today. I know I have it. I did not pick it today.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I
Fair
actually
enough.
have a flavor question for you.
uh-huh.
Would I be able to could I use where did it actually could I pop off a domain for the area of effect and waste a domain as a second level get rid of poison?
Does it let you do that?
I was asking you because I don't think it actually takes away poison.
Let me check.
Because it's healing of 2d6 plus my wisdom modifier. Yeah, it's just healing, but I was like, can I get rid of this slot for the day? Like, could I trade these?
I don't think it lets you do that, but I'm checking.
Rip.
Let's see.
Trying to think. I think it was just Johnny and Derek who also inhaled the spores.
No, Johnny was outside.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
Johnny
it was
didn't get it.
Derek.
Yeah,
And-
Johnny was away from. Well, you don't know what exactly Johnny's fight with him was like before she turned into stone, but you never saw that happening with her.
Better to be safe than sorry.
In that case, bleh. Johnny,
Yes?
you didn't get hit with spores, did you?
Not in my recollection.
Okay.
Mostly
I
I was
mean, 'cause I
flying
did have
over
a-
him and he was trying to do stuff to me, but I had the high ground.
Good.
I kept zapping him until he finally turned me into a rock.
That wasn't good, but
I like
the rock part, I mean.
yeah, the rock part's
I
not
wasn't a
terrible,
fan
though.
either.
Well, I'm glad you didn't get hit with this weird cootie nonsense.
Do we think we need to
Me too.
go ahead and just get rid of them, just to be on the
Yeah.
safe side, or did
Oh,
we
yeah,
want
yeah,
to
Wait,
make sure?
you guys can get rid of him?
Oh, it looks like it just. Yeah, I'm a
Do it.
healer.
Do it. Do it now. Let's do it now. I don't want this.
You might want to
Let
get rid
me-
of it sooner than later because
Yeah.
I
if
do
a
not
part
want
of
this.
him is in your body, he can scry on you freely.
Oh,
I do not want this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All
I
right,
mean, we
then.
could also hit up the clerics as well. They are around here if we need to save some magic in our body. You know.
I'm just gonna go ahead and cast it on myself and Penelope and Johnny. No, wait. Myself and
Johnny didn't
Penelope,
get
I'm
hit.
saving one for Derek.
Yeah, and then I'll pop one. Wait. Would Juniper count? Can Juniper technically well, no, Juniper wasn't there. Jesus.
Lungs.
I mean, yeah, but you never know. Wait, actually, that does bring up a question. Can he scry through Juniper?
Are you asking someone that?
Yes, he's asking Lucretia.
Are you
Juniper
asking if he can...
is one of his blights, so I would have to assume so.
Oh. Possibly. It's quite possible that he could, if that's in fact something that he raised.
I
It'd be
need
a
to be
very
able to
close
overwrite
connection.
this.
Why would he want to scry through her, though? That's the question. Well,
I mean, I don't want to scry
maybe
on
to
him. You know.
get into the meeting without having to get into the meeting.
Yeah, and that's yeah. So Juniper, I might need her to not be at the meeting. Is there a way to block scrying?
I mean, he can scry on any of us.
Technically, yeah, with Alder, he's been around enough of us, honestly, that it shouldn't matter. And if he wants to come in person, I dare him. That's why I need one level 2 spell left. There's a reason.
I think I've heard of amulets or things that can prevent you from being scryed on, but...
They're not that uncommon among Dead Apostles. We're a nosy bunch. Part of the reason my job is such a pain in the ass is that nearly all of the others make a point of staying off the radar.
Oh, do you happen to know if, like, he has, like, a home base by chance? Like, you know, where mushroom doctors would go to heal him up after he's been pummeled a few times?
My assumption would be that it's wherever his current or most recent host would have set up.
Okay, but there's not, like, okay. Places.
I mean, his actual tree could be somewhere, but it moves.
The tree moves. Okay, good to know.
It tends to just appear in places, wreak total havoc for a time, drop a few fruit, and leave.
Wait, that actually brings up another question. What would happen if something happened to his tree while he's in the body of someone else? Like, I feel like that's bad.
I suspect if you were to actually kill the source of its tree, it would probably summon the body and everything else in its power to stop you. And then if you were to actually kill the tree, then you would kill it. I'm not sure what that would do to its host.
Oh.
That said, it would be nearly unkillable because you would have to kill a forest.
Oh. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't want to kill, but also that sounds like more than one tree.
It's an entire forest.
Yeah, that's... Thank you for that information.
Sorry, it's like, that sounds like more than one tree. Yes, it's a forest.
They use 3
Smokey
of the
the
tree
Bear would
character
not
to
be
write it in
happy.
Japanese. If anyone wants to know how to actually kill Inage, it happens in Tsukihime, and it's dumb.
Forest fires everywhere.
need to get ye old Netflix and watch this thing. I'm kidding.
I've never
What
seen
do
the
you mean, the
show.
thing
I
with
just know that it happens in the stories.
You mean the thing with the DVDs?
I don't know what you're meaning.
What?
I was
You know-
temporarily possessed by the consciousness of someone from 2022. I don't understand what's happening.
That's a problem.
You
what?
get them in the mail. It's like a blockbuster
Yeah.
that sends mail.
Popped off.
Yeah.
You popped off 2. You're saving 1 for Derek. I'm gonna pop off a lesser restoration for myself. Bam. Has been used. Alright. I'm gonna do... Vanilla spores are they impossible to see, or are they like big enough that I could technically see them like pollen in somebody's throat or something?
His spores?
Yes.
I suspect that they were probably very difficult to see floating in the air. You might see the clumps where they've gathered together, but it only takes a few. It's part of why it's nearly impossible to kill it. Even if you were to find his tree, you'd no doubt inhale enough of his spores getting to it.
Like we've
that it
inhaled
would just
quite a
move
bunch
to you.
recently. Yeah. Alright. We pop that off, and I want him to be able to check and make sure there's nothing left in us. We might still need to stop by some clerics to see if they can detect any poison inside of us after this. Okay.
Hmm.
Like, we've popped off our work. We've done at least that. Hopefully it's done the trick.
Yeah, hopefully.
Not, we're gonna need a higher powered cleric.
At this point, Lucretia looks over in Penelope's direction. Did you want to have a private conversation before we move on?
Yeah.
She takes the kind of long way around the room.
Like, if you think you're gonna be a minute.
Why don't we go see if we can find some other clerics?
Yep, you read my mind. I was like, we can do that while you all are talking.
Yeah, we can catch up.
Yeah, we'll make sure we're, toxin free. It's a win-win situation. It's nice meeting you, Miss Lucretia.
And you as well,
Thank
friend.
I'll see you.
Centaur?
My name's Aiden. Sorry about that.
Pleasure to meet you, Aiden. I have not seen your people in some time.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
It's nice to see that their manners have at least carried down through the generations, if not their numbers.
Oh, well, thank you. We try to be nice people. Sun catchers are amazing. I don't know if she knows anything about sun catchers, but yeah.
See you later.
Have a good one. We'll see you at the meeting.
I just realized I don't know where they're going.
The clerics.
I don't know where that is.
She wasn't with you any of the times you went there.
Oh, yeah, because she caught him in passing coming back from it. Oop.
It's fine.
Well,
Don't worry about
we'll
it.
find out. It's fine.
Hey, Anise, want to get on my back and we can run faster?
Not really.
Am
Actually,
I supposed to
we're
stay or
worried
go
about
on this
Derek.
one?
What?
Should I be staying or going for this one?
You should stay.
Okay.
It was a question I had about something that involves, your situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And seeing as that's one of her coworkers.
Right, that would make sense.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, Lucretia, you remember Johnny, right?
I remember from
Did
the
you get it?
concert, yes.
Okay. Johnny, do you want to explain your situation? Only
Sure.
if you're comfortable, but
No, that's fine. So the long and short of it is, some things happened. I ended up in a warlock pact with one of the other dead apostles, and I am looking for an escape clause because, for obvious reasons, that's not working out. That does sound like a bit of a situation. Which one is it? It's Van Fem. He's the one who, that guy. Yes, yeah, he's a bit of a thing. He tends to make deals with people that he thinks are going to be potentially very influential, whether it's politically or financially or in terms of entertainment and fame. So we must have seen something exciting in your potential at the very least. Yeah, it's a real compliment. Thank you. It's exactly what I want. Well, more to the point, he is ultimately a businessman. He likes to gamble, he likes to play games, but he's about influence and playing games of power with other immortal beings. So the easiest way out is to get him something that he wants more. He likes to think he's trading up.
so
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
that was more like a sigh.
Oh.
See that? Oh God, that's gonna be really hard. Like,
I would recommend trying to find a way to either play his interest against him or, depending on your comfort levels, find who he's currently playing games against and possibly pit them against each other more directly. If he feels that one of his rivals is gaining an edge, he would more likely try to use you for something to that end. And a contract is not the same thing as a deal for obedience. It just means that you're in a bad position if they're unhappy with you. But ultimately, he's here to play his games, and you could quite possibly gamble your way to freedom. You could go to someone else who is currently at odds with him and leverage their power against him, if only for the pettiness amongst them. Or, I guess similar to what I told your friend before, technically, if you were to get a wish of some sort, you could obviously undo the contract that way, but that might be a bit extreme. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the frequency with which some of my peers create contracts with people. Like I myself, if you don't mind a bit of a story there, I, like others, had to possess a body of some sort, and I possessed this body a very long time ago. But we made an agreement together, and I've held up my end of the bargain, and she's held up hers, and at this point in time, I think we're operating in perfect synchronization. So I've never needed to have others acting on my behalf. He seems to get a kick out of it. Inosh needs it. Each Dead Apostle situation is different, which means that if you find another one who's willing to rock his boat, you might be able to find something that they want that he hasn't even considered. Alternatively, if you actually signed a contract with him, as he loves his little devil at the crossroad details, get the contract voided.
how would you do that, though? Was there?
So you think that if I were to find a loophole in this contract, it would let me out of it and I'd just be free? Well, I think that he probably wouldn't be very happy about it, but if he feels you bested him properly, he's enough of a sport that he'd let that go, at least for a time. Mind you, he'd probably try to reposition you in such a way that's still advantageous to him. It's just how he interacts with everyone. Like, there have been points in times where he's played me against others, and I didn't realize it as well. Like, ultimately, my job is to clean up the mess left by all of them. And sometimes cleaning up the mess of another one benefits him, so. Technically, no offense intended, but if you've done anything as part of your contract with him that is problematic for the planet itself, then I would have to clean up that mess too. So I would personally prefer he have as little influence as possible, but by comparison to a giant tree monster who destroys entire ecosystems, he's at least a more manageable threat, if not a less dangerous one.
I mean, that's fair. Right, so we've got to find a loophole. We've got to find someone. Oh, God.
The alternative is just go on his boat and gamble for it. You'd have to have something that he's willing to risk, or rather something he wants enough. But
Do you know what
no
he might
shortage of
want?
entertainment there. He likes influence. He likes power. If he feels like he can double or nothing for something that he wants more, you've got some collateral to bet with. Just know the game is probably rigged.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Okay. I don't know. I guess I was hoping there was a better answer.
I mean, if you're still looking for a way out of this, like, are you planning on participating in a Grail War? Either
Was she
directly or
talking-
assisting?
What?
Are you planning on participating in a Grail War, either directly as a master or assisting one? Because I'm certainly looking for assistance if you're interested.
Assistance? How so?
Well, you and Anise proved that you were capable of getting a large number of people who weren't willing to cooperate on the same page. And by extension, the people around you got what they wanted out of that event. So I could absolutely pull in, armies of mercenaries, or I could summon up elementals, or, well, not exactly summoning elementals, but things within my purview. I could do all of those things, but that would be getting people who will listen to me, not people who will speak to me and help me see things a way that I can't. So if your group would like to be involved in a Grail War and have no specific desire, but would still like to assist and make sure that we can minimize the damage, then that would be worthwhile to me, and perhaps I could leverage something through the course of this to barter for your friend here.
And she just looks over at Johnny just looks back and forth between the two of them really quick, and then she's like, Johnny, is that something you'd be okay with?
I'm a little bit leery of getting more people on the hook for my problems, but if your group is looking to do this without necessarily having to kill anybody, it sounds like that might be an alternate way to do it. I'm not entirely sure what you seem very nice, Miss Lucretia, but I'm not actually sure what you're looking to do. Like, as you mentioned, if the easiest way through this is to kill the other masters, then whether or not we're doing that or we're enabling it, we're going to be party to murder. And I'm not comfortable with anybody killing to get me out of my mess. simply an option on the table. Like, I can't promise. Like, unlike your friend, I'm a bit more pragmatic. I can't afford for someone to win the Grail War who's going to make a terrible choice that makes the situation worse for ourselves and worse for the planet. If someone wants to win €1,000,000 or something, then so be it, but that's not as big of a problem. If someone decides that they want to bring about a new age of gods, that's a bit more challenging. That might also take more mana than it could do and put us in an even worse situation. That's why I ask everyone who seems interested what they would wish for. If your friend enters the Grail War with the goal of simply ridding his friend of Einosh, then he could quite possibly wish Einosh away. And that would possibly solve these problems, or it might make things worse, because every time a dead apostle goes away, another one replaces them. It's hard to figure out what would happen, but it would get us through the current crisis. Whereas if a human wins and decides they don't want phantasmal species anymore, then that's a bit of a bigger problem for myself and others. So
Yeah.
I plan to ensure that anything that seems like a threat is taken care of one way or another. I can't promise that everyone would stay clean in that, as I don't know what's at stake until I know who the masters are.
Do you know who else has agreed so far to, or who else intends to participate so far?
If I'm taking the seat for Clock Tower, then someone else from Clock Tower, which would be up to them to decide, as they always do. If beyond that, I suppose the Edelfelts will be sending a representative of one form or another. I'm not sure who they would pick, but if I had to guess, I would assume that the matriarch knows she's a bit old for this, and she would designate someone, whether it's her granddaughter or her assistant, or someone on their behalf, similar to when the Einsburns contracted it out. I'm not sure who they would pick, but I believe the goals of the Edelfelt family are not going to be at odds with the greater good of the world. If the Einsburns are entering directly and they still seek to complete the third magic, that would be problematic for several reasons. I don't agree with my coworker's methodology, but I do agree that the Einsburns should not be allowed to win.
Yeah.
So if someone joined on their behalf but did not share their wish, then I would be less concerned about it. But if they send a homunculus or whatever passes for the next incarnation of their golem directly, then I would be concerned. Beyond that, I'm not aware of who will or will not be participating. It will be determined in part by the Grail itself. You can understand my hesitation. As much as I would like to stack the deck, I'm fairly certain that would end in disaster.
Yeah. Can I get back to you after
No
the
rush.
meeting?
There won't be
Okay.
a Grail War immediately. Like, even after we make our preparations, it will be some months before we can even begin a ritual. I hope that the world does not suffer too much damage in that time, but there's not a faster way to do it that I'm aware of.
Right.
Assuming Alder is cooperative, which in and of itself will be a bit of a challenge, we would still need to actually confirm the location where it would take place. And unfortunately, because we're following the rules to the best of our ability, we have to make contact with the church to oversee it.
Oof.
And that in and of itself will be an adventure.
Uh-huh.
So we should be tied up for some time. So you have plenty of time to think about it. It's simply an offer that's available if you're interested, as a way to participate without having to directly take on the role of being a master. And if we do that, you'll help me out after this is over? I'll do what I can, assuming I win, obviously. I suppose you'll have a vested interest in keeping me alive, at the very least. Yeah, it sounds about right. You're hard to kill, right? Well, I've yet to die, so hopefully that makes sense. Out of curiosity, exactly who was she? And she gestures towards the body that Lucretia has. She was someone who hit a bit of a despair point of her own and was looking for help, and Gaia responded by giving her a bit of a deal. And that was when I came into existence. The world decided that its dead apostles had become a bit of a nuisance, but still needed them, so I became the middle manager of the planet, and she gained what would for her be an opportunity to see her objectives played out over a much longer time frame.
What were her objectives?
That's a bit more of a secret. We can have a conversation about it if you decide to work with me, of course. I would not expect you to... A somewhat more informal deal, but if we agree to work together, then I could definitely tell you a little bit more about that. She has her secrets, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Every now and then she speaks instead of me, and you can always ask her yourself if that comes up.
Oh. Yeah. Then I guess one thing I need to know before I agree to anything is trying to think of the best way to phrase it. So I'm actually not sure how I want to ask this.
Would you like a minute to think about it? Because
Yeah.
I'm going to migrate a puppy over to break time, so this is a good break.
This is a good break time.
All right. So I popped up the Reen staring at a TV confused, and I'll be back in a moment myself. And everyone else, get water or something. Yay.
Yeah.
thing that I want to scrub my brain out for, so the internet has been kind to Smokey the Bear, I guess.
Wow, yeah,
That's good.
actually, I'm even struggling. Wow.
I appreciate that no one knows what the context of that is because you're muted during the entire break, but that's fine.
Hey, and
For the
we'll never
best.
explain.
You shouldn't.
Never.
Yeah, in general, I mute it whenever we go away, just in case someone accidentally doxes themselves or something. So, hey.
That's
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That never happened.
Hey guys, now that we're on break, let me give you my full credit card number and location.
Okay, I'll give you the first
Well,
8, and then I'm going to tell you 8 more, just in case.
And here are all the answers to my security questions.
Don't
It's
mind
like,
me.
Hey,
Just sharing the street I grew up on.
do you guys mind sharing your social security numbers with me just for funsies? For the lulz?
Remember, everyone,
Is
your
this the
porn
new
star
hip thing?
name is your credit card number and expiration date.
Plus the TV.
Find me on OnlyFans.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm ready.
It's just a website with fans. That's it.
Excellent.
Just a bunch of ceiling fans.
yeah. Gotta watch out for that.
Anyway.
Okay, so yeah, we back.
Yeah.
Does Penelope come up with how she wants to word her question?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so one other thing I need to, I guess, keep in mind for this is, are you willing to cooperate with the Fae?
That's an interesting direction to take this.
Yeah.
I would be very careful about the wording of a cooperation with the Fae, as they are quite literal and yet sneaky with it, which I respect. But depending on the nature of their assistance and what they're asking for in return, it could be possible. I've worked with many entities over the course of my duties, as I am not as strong and powerful as some of the other Dead Apostles and have needed assistance.
And
So I would be open to it, but it would be very contingent on what they're asking for.
which ones have you worked with?
Of the Fae?
Yeah.
So she holds up her hand and she starts counting fingers on it. She's like, let's see.
Oh god.
I've worked with Vivienne. I've worked with Nimue. I've worked with Morgan.
Uh-huh.
Well, that was a very robot-y response. I've worked with a few of the more regional Fae of different areas, but I'm assuming you're referring to the ones from this region who are generally called the Fae.
Yeah.
There are a number of fairies. I worked with Puck once. That was interesting.
Huh. What was that like?
Strange.
Huh.
As you would probably imagine, it's the most barred of experiences, for good or ill.
Yeah. So you said Vivian and Nimue, right?
Yes, we've done work together at times.
Such a, was it a good working relationship, or was it a...
I have no complaints. We each received what we needed from it. I did a bit of work with, I'm sure you could tell from the contemporaries, a bit more work with them during the Age of Fairies, so to speak. But a bit around the times of the Fae and the Irish pantheon still being somewhat present in the world. Contrary to Christianity's attempts to override it, it's still strong in many areas, and as an extension of that, there were people who work on behalf of the Fae. They have not been able to participate on this side, but they will often do so through intermediaries, and I have worked with their intermediaries.
Would you be interested in working with one of them again?
Not Morgan, but
Well, not Morgan. Specifically those first two.
I would be open to that. They've not done anything outside of the realm of potential future engagements. I would just, again, want to make sure that I'm getting the wording very clear. For the most part, we have similar goals in that we both prioritize the land and the world itself. They tend to take a bit more of a focus on a specific version of the world that they would like to see, whereas my objective is the overall survival of the world. I need to make sure that no one on this planet endangers it, and by extension that so long as the planet is alive and thriving, we will all benefit. They have more specific ideas for what the world should be like, and that admittedly does tend to skew towards certain outcomes more than others. Nothing that I would consider unacceptable, since their timelines do tend to coincide with my objectives. But again, there are certain caveats. Like, I do my job, and that does mean that I also do business with other Dead Apostles or with other entities that would perhaps be less appreciated by the Fae. So it's a bit more of a contract basis than a long-term alliance.
Gotcha.
But they've given me no reason not to believe them when they say that they mean well. Are you saying that they're interested in participating in this war?
I mean, I don't know if they're interested in participating necessarily, as much as making sure that the Grail War doesn't fall to the wrong side.
Then I have a feeling we'll get along just fine.
Okay.
We have similar enough objectives that I would not be too concerned about this.
Cool.
Would you like to set up
That
a
does
meeting,
make me feel better.
Should I speak through the more normal channels to reach them?
Oh, what do you mean by more normal channels?
Each of the Fae tend to have at least one champion at a given time, and they're usually who I go to. To use the more colloquial terms, they're paladins.
I mean, I can help you set up a meeting.
That would be nice then. I usually have to track down their paladins, which is not too difficult. They're not the most subtle bunch, but if you already have access to them, then that would be appreciated.
Yeah.
In general, the Fae work with, as I'm sure you're aware, they'll take on a number of warlocks, but they occasionally employ a paladin or two devoted to their cause very directly, and those are the ones that I usually actually meet with. I believe, depending on which of them, my understanding is that Vivienne is currently without paladin, so I would have asked for information on where to find that, whereas Nimue has a few.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know a few of them, too.
Small world, I suppose. But here we are in a village of elves, so I'm sure at least some of them are around.
Yeah, I didn't know she didn't have a paladin, though.
Yeah, I believe her last paladin, well, she'd probably be in a better position to tell you the exact details of it than I would, but it's a dangerous job. Paladins tend to be not necessarily self-righteous, but very dedicated to their goal, and that attracts a certain mentality that is unfortunately difficult to sustain for long lifetimes.
That's unfortunate.
I'm sure she's recruited a new one or is in the process of courting one now, but who knows? If you've got a more direct means of reaching out to her, that would probably be faster than me trying to find out what she's up to at the moment. I've been a bit busy tracking down everything related to this ritual and honestly trying to clean up after Inosh's mess and the messes of several other dead apostles who were up to things. And occasionally shoving things that have popped out of these bubbles back in them. It's a bit of work.
Yeah. We've been doing the same thing. Hey.
See? That's the kind of thing that I appreciate to hear from someone I might like to do business with in the future. Sounds like we're already on the same page for a number of issues and that we have similar priorities.
Yeah. Yeah, so what are you doing later? I can... Like, honestly, I basically have a direct line to her, so...
That's interesting. Did you get a direct line to her as part of a deal or a pact of some sort? She sort of, like, tilts her eyebrows up at you to that.
I mean, she's the one who taught me magic.
No, she must trust you a great deal if she's given you the ability to reach out to her, but I will be here for the duration of the day and possibly the night, depending on how it goes. My main objectives here are to ascertain how much Inosh did, reverse what can be reversed, and in general meet with Alder Greenleaf to do what I can to secure this ritual. If things go well very quickly, then I may leave sooner. I will be speaking at this event insofar as I need to make sure that everyone understands what's at stake, because I don't expect that the ritual will be quiet much longer once we have it in motion. And while the elves have generally sat out of this in the past, I am concerned that perhaps the current circumstances of the world will bring in more radical types, like your centaur friend, who may largely be endangering themselves. While my odds of success go up every time someone goes in and decides to handicap themselves with a need to not take the most prudent course of action, I have no interest in populating the war with people who would be such ready victims. There are certain things that don't sit well with me.
Yeah, it's just at some point before you leave, then.
Sure, I'll be in touch with you.
Okay. Johnny, should we go catch up with the others?
Yeah, we should probably do that. Out of curiosity, Miss Dead Apostle Lady. Yes? If you've been here for like a really long time and you're going to be here for a really long time yourself, would you say that the situation that we have right now where the phantasmal species are all in hiding is better or worse than what it was like when they were more out in the open? I'm afraid I'm not quite old enough to remember the older ways, but my understanding is that, in general, when the world had more mystery in it, humanity was less likely to end itself. So, while I don't think there's any going back to that at this point, I do feel that phantasmal species have gotten an unfortunate shake from this entire experience, and that if anything could maybe temper the damage humanity does to the planet, I would definitely favor it. As I mentioned before, my ultimate allegiance is with the planet, not the people that live on it, so I would really prefer if they could be more responsible before I'm forced to do things that I don't want to. Right. Oh, Penelope, I've got what I need. Johnny awkwardly inching towards the door.
Alright, I'll catch up with you later, Lucretia.
I'll look forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Alrighty. You did it. You did not get eaten by a dead apostle.
She doesn't do that, though.
True.
Alright, go.
we can jump over to the other group and see how they're doing. Now I have to zoom out on the super giant map again.
Rolling to find Anise and Iden.
We only went a little bit further down.
I rolled a 3.
Penelope, how are you in France?
Very carefully.
I wasn't sure how long that conversation actually took and if we'd make it back in time too or not.
So, what exactly were you just trying to do while you stepped out? Just like go get checked out by the druids?
Yeah, we were just gonna go get. Yeah, clearance. That was literally it, as far as I know, right?
Anise is worried about Derek, so she was probably going to go back to her house.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say I hadn't had one more thing to bring up to the Dead Apostle Lucretia, but he just needed to make sure he gave them enough time to talk.
Yeah, their conversation only went for a few minutes. So, like, if you were expressly like, "We're gonna go there and come back," you would have time. If
Okay,
you were
yeah,
sort
that
of
was-
dallying because you didn't want to get too far away, then you're still here.
No, they went off. We just didn't move the tokens really far in the screen.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will have one of the elves check the lot of you. So you're trying to determine if you've still got spores?
Yeah. And if the lesser restoration actually worked, so we know we could do that to Derek and then
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Oh, that's a good roll, NPC. Way to go.
Fuck yeah, it's the guy who was scared.
Yeah, actually, it's the guy that you intimidated the crap out of before. He's like,
Hi.
oh, good. Yes. Are you afraid of right spores? Okay. 1 second. Your systems seem to be clear. Like the three of you seem to be good. Is this something we should be checking everyone for?
3 of us? There's only 2 of us. I don't
He's
think
referring to
counting
Juniper as well.
Well, I had her hidden, but that works.
Well, he cast the spell, which means that he can sense
Oh,
everything in
true.
that radius.
that's fair.
Oh.
True. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah.
It couldn't hurt to check people. It probably only people that came in contact with Clover, Einosh, but it can't hurt to just check everybody.
Probably
Sure,
the
that sounds
people
like
inside the hotel. Or the inn.
Sounds like a good idea. Yeah, we've been checking in general. I know that several of the ranges came in last night who, when they were fighting those trees, inhaled a great deal of spores from the trees, but other than feeling like shit, they should be okay. As far as we can tell, there was nothing long-term supernatural about it. We didn't come up with anything while we were checking. It seemed to just be caustic.
Cool. Well, we did the trick, Anise, so knowing that, we can take care of anyone else that we need to. We can get, whenever your grandpaps comes back.
Anise is just gonna quickly look around and see if she can spot Nora or anyone else. She probably knows most people in the village, but...
Yeah, do a perception check.
Cool. Nope.
You don't see her. She might not be here, but you don't see her either way.
She be doing rounds.
All right. Well,
I mean, she does have a house that you're aware of.
yeah, that's true. Well, I think I'm going to go back to the house and check on Derek. Get spores out of him, I guess. Did we lose connection?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I just don't have any characters there, so I was being quiet.
Gotcha.
Do we still have Iden, or has Iden disappeared?
I was
There
gonna
you are.
say, if Anise is gonna make it clear that she's gonna swing off to check on Derek, then he'll part ways with her to just ask that one last question. But
All right.
yeah,
Right.
I mean,
So
like
in
that'd
that case,
be
we'll
good.
just simplify this, and while you did that, they were wrapping their stuff up, so I'm just dragging everybody over to the intersection.
Okay.
As you guys are splitting off, they come outside.
I rolled a 17 for finding them.
You did it.
Hey guys.
Gotta drag Invisible Merlin somewhere.
I was gonna say, is the lady behind them, or? have to go
She
back
is
to
not
building,
behind
but-
them right now. She has not yet left the place. They sort of stepped out first. Like, you could see them
Okay.
from the intersection.
Okay.
I hope Vivian's not behind us.
Le gas.
Wrong lady.
Plot
Gas.
twist.
All the ladies.
Here she is.
Yay!
I love how it's like, we'll catch up with you later. She's right behind them. Oh, this is awkward.
You both awkwardly said goodbye and then continued walking in the same direction.
Shit. Oopsie.
That is how it works.
She just walks by. Oh, hey. Oh, no.
Yeah, when she steps out, though, like, contrary to where I dragged her on the map, I just wanted to make it clear that she was leaving. She's going in the other direction. So. She's going back to the right, which takes her out of, air quotes, downtown and more towards the outer areas of the village. So, Aiden could see her leaving, but she's not going in the direction you are.
Ah, wait. I gotta... Guys, I'll be right back. I have, like, one more question.
Be careful not to get eaten.
Okay, well, I mean, she asked if I was gonna eat her first,
She's gonna
so...
eat you.
Well, I guess...
We definitely got eaten.
Oh, shit. He speedruns. He's a fucking horseman.
He does have the mobility. She's also not running, so, like, you will catch up to her.
Excuse me,
So-
Miss Lucretia.
Oh, yes. Hello again.
Well, I'm gonna part there. So, cause like Anise needs to do her thing.
Hi. Hello?
What?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Okay.
I can hear you both.
Yay!
Hooray!
Yay, okay. I was gonna be like, hi, did you find out about the spores?
Oh, yes. Either we never had them in the first place, or using the restoration spell got rid of them, but we're in the clear.
Oh, yay! Cool.
No.
Where are you heading to?
I'm gonna go back home and find Derek, get the spores out of him, make sure he's not, I don't know,
Not a
dead.
euphemism, is it?
What?
That's not a euphemism, is it?
Why would you?
I'm joking. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm joking.
No, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Penelope,
Goodbye.
are you being nasty?
Anise! Anise! Don't leave! I'm sorry, it was a joke!
You can follow me if you want, or you can wait till night.
So are we gonna go to her house now, or what?
Go to her house, because she has a pond behind her house, which is still.
Oh,
And I can show you that trick.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoosh. North you go.
Mew.
Zoom indeed.
Ugh.
I am more zoomed out than you. That makes me faster.
Whoa.
You're up that way. We'll
I've
say you're
been
up that way.
zoomed.
It seemed easier.
Yeah.
I'm just dragging you to the top of the map. We'll deal with that in a minute. I'm not going to load
Anise,
the map
thank you
just
for
for this part. We don't have to load the map for this part. Suffice it
Yeah.
to say, you get back to your room, Anise, and Derek is still laid out in the bed.
I'm gonna do a medicine check to make sure he's still alive.
Sure.
Hey, hey, are you alive?
Maybe.
Are you okay?
I did. So, just out of curiosity, are you the only one that's interacting with him right now, or is like Penelope and everyone there too? Like in the room?
I don't think Penelope wouldn't have gone in the room because she was gonna show Johnny the trick with the pond.
Got it. Okay. Like I think we might have sex too hard.
No such thing.
Me, remembering you rolled really fucking well against him. Him, failing miserably. Laughs into the fucking wind.
But yeah, for
what
your
time-
medicine check on him, he appears to be exhausted and dehydrated, and you actually do find some signs of a fever.
Oh no.
No.
All right. Well, here.
You screwed him too hard.
I'm gonna go get you some water, and then I'm gonna cast some spells on you that should help.
Okay. You're the doctor.
Well, technically that's Aiden, but I'll be right back.
Wait, he went to school?
You don't have to go to school to be a cleric.
How did you say he was a doctor? Oh,
Okay,
God,
I'll
is he
be
one
right
of those
back.
by male doctors?
You just stay there.
Okay.
Had
Maybe
to
he's
mute
like-
my microphone.
Maybe he's like one of those like comic book characters who says he's a
She is-
doctor but never went to
She's
school.
already heading into the kitchen to get water.
Or maybe he's like Dr. Dre. There's a lot of people that call themselves doctors.
Dr. Phil.
Oh my god.
Wonder
Dr.
if I
Quinn,
could be a
medicine man.
doctor. Let's see. I would be. Dr. Jones is stupid. I'm not going to do that. That's for Indiana Jones only. Or maybe his dad. Sean Connery's pretty cool.
Oh
Why
my
did Sean
god.
Connery make Harrison Ford? That's weird. Anyway.
He
And
is
she's
so
back-
out of it.
She is
Oh my
back with some
god.
water.
Oh, good water. That's the good stuff. And he commences
she's gonna
drinking
cast-
water.
She's gonna, cast Lesser Restoration. Bloop. All of her second spell slots are gone.
Okay. Do. Let's see. Okay, so you cast Lesser Restoration on him, and when you do, his fever breaks like instantly. He seems to like the color starts to return to him, and you know what? Yeah, so you notice as he's starting to feel a little bit better, that as he's lying down in the bed and he sits up to drink more of the water. The area under him where he was lying down has little bits of what you can only make out to be like tiny mushrooms. And then you can
Oh.
see on the back of him little bits of it stuck in his hair and along his back.
Okay, we're gonna let's get you into the shower. Let's let's just get you right into the shower. You look like you need a shower pretty badly. And she's just like basically pulling him off.
Well, I did work out yesterday by fighting a tree. So sure. Okay. Yeah,
Oh.
you get him safely to the shower. Actually, you roll a d20.
Oh boy. Okay. Just a straight
Oh.
D20.
Just roll a straight d20.
Woo.
Okay.
Okay,
16.
you successfully get him there without your mother noticing you taking him to the shower. That was your unknown stealth check.
Oh good.
Your mom did not see you taking him to the bathroom. Yeah, so you get him there without issue.
So
Yeah,
it's growing out
as
of. They're growing
yeah,
out of him, not his clothes.
it looks like it was growing out of the parts of him that were under his body while he was lying down. The warmer parts between him and the sheets.
Gotcha.
Good thing we just learned that lesser restoration tends to do the job.
And you know what? I'm just gonna throw these clothes in the wash for you. You can borrow some from my brother for right now. Let's just get you naked.
Burn
Oh, yes,
them.
I do love doing that.
I will never argue with your reasoning. You're a wonderful person, and I respect you deeply.
That is a very
Oh,
good.
the water is hot. This is amazing. Holy crap. This
Yep.
tree creates hot
Why
water.
don't you
This is
just
great.
stay in there? I'm gonna take these clothes and
Wash
wash 'em.
them. Wash them.
Burn them. Just burn them.
Burn them. Burn them.
Oh, wait, hold on. This is your shoulder Penelope going, burn them.
Shoulder Iden also says, burn them.
let's not burn them.
Shoulder Johnny is like, didn't she just get that cloak for him like yesterday? Don't burn that.
There's spores on it.
Oh no, I feel like he wasn't wearing the cloak to bed.
No, like he wasn't wearing much of anything once you went to sleep. That's part of why you can see this.
Oh,
It's
right.
not like he had the scarf on, unless that's specifically something you want to state canonically as a thing that stays on.
No.
As long as
The
he doesn't wear his
scarf
socks.
stays on.
The socks and
I'm
scarf.
just going to assume. Actually, I don't know. How do they? They don't have electricity, so I guess they wash their clothes by hand, or maybe they
Don't
just
wanna
press
touch
the
that.
digitation.
It's probably prestidigitation.
With that
You know, like that
ticker.
rock you carry around.
Yeah. So she's gonna.
Alright. That's spores,
gonna-
though.
She's gonna go get the rock and just see if it works on the clothes and her sheets and everywhere there's mushrooms.
Yes, it does, as far as you can tell. Like the mushrooms are still there, but like the sweat soaking in the sheets goes away. The sheets are very clean now. You can kind of like scoop up the bits of mushroom because they're not considered, you know, part of the mess now. They're actually just a thing that was on him and have now been removed from him.
Great, good. This is disgusting. She's gonna like kind of just take a cloth so she's not directly touching them, scoop them into a pile, and then like put them in a bottle to like
Okay.
in case they need to study them later or something.
Smart.
All right, I have added an item to your inventory.
That 19 was like basically, is she panicking or is she keeping it cool so he doesn't notice the mushrooms, by the way?
Yeah.
So does he still have mushrooms on his back?
No, I assume they're getting washed away.
They're getting washed away. They fell off when you cast Lesser Restoration. He's no longer a host to whatever was causing that.
I'm really glad we had that talk.
I'm
I
glad
mean-
that Anise was worried and
And
went to
she went
check
back?
on him.
Yeah, and went back.
I'm glad I had an
Oh,
excuse to
God.
make you both make con checks that you didn't find suspicious.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
I appreciate that you thought it was about the sex, though. That was really funny.
Oh, yeah,
So, like-
you're right.
Now here's the question. Do the rest of us have mushrooms on us?
You haven't seen them yet.
Or at all, because we lesser restoration to everybody. Except
Yeah.
Alder.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you guys are clean now.
Yeah, we're clean. We still have to get to Alder.
Whew.
So.
So now
Which,
that
to be
she's
fair.
oh, you were saying
No, what were you saying?
now that she's fairly certain there are no more mushrooms, she's gonna go back and take him back his clothes.
Okay. He successfully equips his clothes, and he is feeling much better now than he was before.
What time of day is it? Is it after lunch now, or is it still?
Oh, let me update the clock. I haven't updated that in a bit. As much as I like the new interface, I have to find the new clock button. There it is. Yeah, we'll just advance it an hour. It's 10:30 in the morning now.
Okay.
Yay.
You've been
So-
mostly losing time to travel, given how spread out the
Mhm.
forest is.
Let's get you some breakfast, shall we? I think you'll feel a lot better once you've got some breakfast in you.
I am a big fan of eating when I wake up.
Most people tend to be.
It's for the best. But thank
Very
you.
true.
I appreciate it. I was feeling really bad earlier. I guess you're just really good at waking people up. Did you cast a wake up spell on me, or was there something going on?
You know, I was just worried you slept in a little longer than you normally do.
Yeah, it's true. I missed oh no, I missed leg morning.
That's what did
You're
it.
fine. It's all right. You had a little bit of a fever, but I think it's fine now.
He starts jogging in place instantly. It's okay, I can fix this. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. And he proceeds to jog in place while he eats breakfast. Because he is a dork. It's very fast. Okay, so that's what's going on there. I'm assuming Penelope is just showing Johnny the fun of walking on water.
Basically, like, she kind of wanted to, well, yeah.
Oh my goodness. So, like, can you do a
Yeah,
handstand, or is
cool.
it just your feet?
Oh my god, I don't know. I'm gonna try. Okay, and she goes to try and do a handstand.
Acrobatics, go.
Yeah! Acrobatics. Eh.
You
Hell
totally do
yeah,
a
22.
handstand on the water, and you do not go down. Oh my goodness. Well, if you ever want to really show off in a stage thing, that would blow people's mind, and they would just assume it was special effects.
Oh my god, you're right. Oh, wait. Oh, can I try something? I want to try something.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right, and she reaches out for Johnny's hands.
Okay.
Okay. I want to. All right. You try stepping out of the water.
Okay.
All right.
She tentatively steps out and puts her foot on, and her foot goes directly into the water.
Fuck. Okay, that did not do what I thought it would do.
I mean, it's okay. It's all right. I am okay with this. This is still nice.
Standing in the water?
Not letting go of your hand.
Do you know how to swim?
I mean, yeah, I've been swimming before.
Okay.
It's much better when you're not a rock.
I mean, that's fair. You have better movement when you're not a rock.
Just makes it easier.
Yeah. Oh. When we go back to the enchanter, do you mind if I borrow that necklace back?
Oh, no, go for it.
I want to see if he can enchant it to do something.
Okay.
I was gonna see if we could get him to enchant it to prevent certain people from scrying on you.
That might be helpful.
Yeah.
Sure. That makes sense. We can give that a go.
Yeah. Unless you'd like it to do something else.
That's probably a good starting point. As long as it's picky, I mean, I don't really want to be scryed on at all. I assume anybody who wants to know what I'm up to can just ask. But yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
Honestly, I was always kind of worried that, if once I found out that scrying was a thing, I was deadly afraid that someone's going to, like, scry on me in the shower or something, because that just feels rude.
Oh, no. I didn't even think about that.
Like, I got weird vibes out of that guy from the Lupin thing who wanted that scrying crystal ball thing. He seemed kind of weird.
Oh. Ew. I hadn't even thought about that until now, and, that's something I wish I didn't think about.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either.
Ugh.
Guy's a weirdo.
Yeah. Gross.
Mages are weird.
Mages are weird.
So I think that's about where that conversation is.
Yeah, because
Shall we jump back to
I was
Aiden?
like, maybe I should summon. Huh?
Should we jump back to Aiden, or did you have other stuff that you wanted to go over with her?
Nah, not right now.
Okie dokie.
Aiden can do his thing.
I will continue to drag Merlin around the map so that the other guy can see what's going on.
Sorry, Merlin.
Nah, he sucks. Don't
Not
worry about it.
sorry.
He's a jerk.
I love him.
We're now zoomed into a lot of you to the right.
Miss Lucretia.
Oh yes.
Gallops up on her. So I did have something I wanted to talk about with you. I just before the meeting and everything, you said you're getting a spot from the school, right?
The school.
The Mage Tower.
The association?
Mage. Yeah.
Yes. They typically receive 2 invitations, and I'm going to pull some strings to make sure at least one of them goes to me.
Okay. So it's not technically just that one school. It's a whole association. Okay.
It's a very large governing body of mages. Yes.
Okay.
The other invitation could go to someone in Clock Tower, possibly the Atlas Academy, should any of them be invited, although they usually avoid such things. Technically, it could go to the Wandering Sea, but I don't know how they'd even deliver the invitation there.
I'm gonna use his poor small brain to try and figure out if he knows what that is, because I have no idea. Jesus
you only
fucking
get this
Christ.
on intelligence.
Why? What?
Yeah, you've heard about the Wandering Sea. That's the place where people study like actual magic, not magecraft, and it's where
You know what?
Anise and Penelope's Dragonboard friend lives. And you've heard a few stories about it being a place that's hard to get to, that only opens up once a year.
Would this be a story from like his sister, or like?
Oh yeah, you would have heard about this.
Okay.
Like they talk about it, if only in the sense of like there are other weird places in the world where phantasmal species can presumably hide. Like
okay,
you don't know how many are there, but it's assumed that it's an area that, like this one, could actually support them, since they've pretty much cut off the modern world entirely.
Okay. It's a phantasmal area base. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
Like it's still humans run because it's still mages, but phantasmal species presumably live there. It might be one of the only places in the world that's sufficiently weird that like phantasmal species could thrive, assuming the mages didn't put a stop to it.
So it's kind of like the area that they were at, that little enclosed area in London, so to say.
A little bit like that, only
but better question.
It's a lot larger and it moves. It just isn't entirely on this level. So if you want to think about it metaphysically, since you rolled a nat 20, there's our side of the world, which is where like people live in the real world as we know it. There's the reverse side of the world.
Yeah.
And if they're sitting on top of each other, like, 2 pizzas, then the bottom pizza or the top pizza occasionally have little bits that dip into the other spot, and there's stuff in the middle, like a pocket. And the Wandering Sea lives in that. So
it's the pocket. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
it's just sandwiched between them. It is the cream of the 2 Oreos.
But I really hate how I'm rolling nat 20s on the stuff he shouldn't be.
That's part of why it's fun. Like, these are just the specific things you're like, of course. Like, what probably happened was Nina was telling you, yeah, the world is like a stroopwafel. And you're like, of course.
You know what? Yeah, 100%. He's going to relate it to food. So yeah, he's going to respond to her like the stroopwafel.
I suppose you could think of it like that, yes.
Yeah. Okay. The place, the in-between. Gotcha.
But it's hard to reach, so I suspect they're just going to throw it to a noble or something. That's usually what they do. My understanding is the last time they threw it at 2 people they didn't think they would miss, since the time before that they lost 2 lords.
Well, I have a question, because I'm kind of concerned about the clock tower half and some of the people there. Or do you happen to frequent that area? Do you have ways to keep tabs on it?
I drop by occasionally, not too often. I
Well, I say you clean up messes, and you mentioned that,
They
right?
make messes, but yes.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, I am slightly concerned because we've run into somebody who, when they asked you how you've gotten into the other side and not drowned, and you talked about like your really cool thing where I don't know really what it is, but you said you got in. It was like an aura of some sort. Um, there's like an individual or two individuals with like a whole a, a, a pod, I guess, and not really a fish or anything, but like a group of people that are in like a circle formation that are powering a portal door opening into the other side, and they're in these suits and they're going through. And from what I can tell, it's not this dude's suit from no, the suits help them like not drown over there. But my concern, uh, he literally ate, so to say, a fire elemental and absorbed its power. And I am concerned this person could potentially end up in the Grail War and cause a lot of damage.
That would definitely be concerning. Do you know who it was?
We didn't have a name. We know he's from the school. It was archaeology, right? Not archaeology.
It was
It
under the
was
Library of Lore.
Library of
So
Lore. It was a hidden area from the Library of Lore, from what I understand. I tried to figure out more about who runs that. I think there's two teachers, Mr. El-Melloi III said. Um, I don't know which one it could possibly be, but it is a large dude from what like it seemed like a male build from what Penelope was telling me, and then like a smaller lady with him. Those were the two with the suits. I'm just concerned not only with them being in the other side and eating, phantasmals over there. That is my number one concern. My second concern, now that you guys have brought up, this possibility of a second invitation being sent.
if stream just
Oh,
pooped itself or what?
oh no.
Let's see.
Let's find out.
Um, it seems fine on my side, maybe.
I don't know.
It still seems
Oh, it's the something filled up my backup recording drive.
oh no.
Mm.
It says that it has 8 kilobytes free, which is impressive because it's 4 terabytes of a drive.
Hmm.
Oh.
Wonder
Interesting.
what did that? Oh, it looks like Photoshop messed something up.
You do it, Rip.
Photoshop's not on, so
Did you
it's got
accidentally save something really, really big?
it has 5 gigabytes of temporary files. So I'd wager something went
Oh.
wrong with Photoshop.
Probably.
That's bad, but I don't know what I would need from Photoshop. That would be 5 gigabytes. So I'm just gonna empty that out right now.
Yeah.
Well, the screen is still live.
That's good.
Oh
At
my
the very
God.
least, if it crapped out on that, I can always download it from Twitch. I'd just rather not go through that.
Oof.
Weird.
Oof, just oof indeed. But yeah, he just kind of is like, yeah, yeah, even if he doesn't, if you have some sort of way, like people to keep tabs on that, because obviously, he seems to wanting to be taking magic in a very, very bad way. Uh, that would be highly appreciated.
Yes, if I find out that someone like that has entered the Grail War, then I will make a point of killing them first.
Yes, yeah, rehabilitation's not really on your list of things, or subduing. That's fair.
I
That is,
I have found that people who are willing to kill for what they want are,
yeah.
generally speaking, not looking to change their ways. But who knows? Maybe they'll just decide to send another enforcer or something instead.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah,
a big fan of the
that was
idea of
it.
someone absorbing an elemental as an
Yeah,
elemental.
no.
That kind of troubles me.
Yeah, I was not very happy about that. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. I figured I'd give you the heads up. That's a potential, so you're not blindsided. Uh, you know, that would be a rough thing to deal with.
I appreciate your concern there. Yes. I'll do what I can to keep an eye out on who is selected, and if they come from that department, I'll certainly know where to start.
Okay. Well, you have a great day. I will see you at the meeting. I will not hold you up any longer. I'm
Did
just gonna.
you say that you're not a druid?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
Have fun at the meeting.
Oh yeah, no, thank you. Scribe's not happy.
Oh, good.
I take it you're on the not scribe fan list as well.
I've encountered him several times, and anyone with such a long life who chooses inaction is a bit frustrating, to say the least. I appreciate it over taking negative action, but I find those people to be a bit dull.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm not really fond of him either. So that makes two of us.
Well, I'm sure he'll continue to be exactly the same forever. If
I don't know. I might push his buttons just enough. We'll see at the meeting.
Be careful about that. He might turn you into something.
Oh, he's already made me small. It's okay.
Have fun.
Thank you.
He's gonna turn into a fish.
Oh, oh shoot. Oh no, they're not at the intersection anymore.
No, they moved on.
Well, now he's got to figure out where the fuck they went.
It's his house, right?
Yeah, but I don't think he got that when he left.
Oh my god.
He just walks up to these people. Excuse me, did you happen to see like a half elf, a halfling, a tiefling? You know, which way they
They
went?
point in the northern direction without saying any words.
Oh, thank you. Wee. Have a
And
good
just taking
day.
a moment to look at how ridiculous that token is. Like the dude on the right.
Like, yeah, his arm and leg.
I don't know
so
what his
messed
left
up.
arm is supposed to be doing.
It looks like he's shaking his fist at the sky, but his
Yeah,
leg is
it's like the way
also,
that they've tilted his head up. It's like he's absolutely angry at the existence of the sky, and he's just old man shakes hand at clouds kind of thing.
That's how I look every time Scribe opens his mouth.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, he's
so
galloping.
it's gonna take them a little while to do their thing by comparison to what you did, since your conversation was quick and you cover ground a lot faster. So
Wee. Boop.
zoom. Actually, I didn't do a perception check.
Oh, ooh, okay. I'll bring myself back down here.
Yeah, back at the
Please?
intersection, do your perception check.
Back at the intersection? Oh, ooh. It's Nina. God, I'm gonna be so mad if I roll like a fucking 1 at this point because all of it's gone to intelligence. Perception. Come on, dice. God, 13.
That's fine. You only needed to hit a 10 for this. You
Oh,
see
thank
people leaving the inn,
Oh,
and they were the people that were teleported away before.
okay. Well, then he's gonna go to the inn. Then take that back. Scratch that.
All right. So the inn would be to your left.
Inside. Left.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let me go drag
'Cause
Tiny
it's-
Merlin's butt over there so that you can see it.
yeah. I was like, I can't see nothing. It was this building. I see a lamp.
It's
I
south
think.
of there. It's the big one near the middle.
In the middle.
Yeah. South of where you are
Okay.
now.
Right here.
I'm just going to drag Merlin's butt over there so everyone else can see it.
Okay.
Party vision's weird.
I see a lady outside yelling at the sky, right in front of a tree.
The gasp. Where did I shove Tiny Merlin? Oh, he's way up there.
It's been
All right. Like, I made Merlin super tiny for ease of vision, but now I need Merlin vision to actually work. This map is so mean to Merlin.
He gets what he deserves.
That's true. It is what he deserves. A lot of things are his fault. And right now, his refusal to acknowledge anything is getting kind of annoying. There we go. Now Merlin can see. Hooray. Stupid Merlin.
Yay!
Anyway. Oh, it's confused because there's two Merlins. That's why. There's the Merlin from before.
Not two Merlins.
There's the one from
Excellent.
before, and then there's the one we've been using as a camera. That's why it was dumb. Okay, that's my fault.
Look, I'm just saying, this brings me joy.
It shouldn't. He's terrible. Anyway.
I love him.
Yeah, so you get there, and what you start seeing happening is people are shuffling out.
Okay, like if I start seeing them shuffle out, I'm blocking the door.
All right,
With my
well,
fat ass.
the door is opening.
All right, I see it open, and I get in the doorway.
Okay, so from your point of view at the doorway, I'm gonna allow you to see the people.
Yay!
All right, so you can see some people gathered around in that spot, and well, you can see whatever the thing shows you seeing. I think you should have a pretty decent
Yay!
idea.
Yeah, I know this
the
person's like
presence.
right there, so I don't want to walk in yet.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me.
Yeah, so you see a bunch of people that were just dropped off in here, and you can see the person who dropped them off in here. There he is.
Alder! My favorite old man.
Yep. He is just like, you're getting the impression from all the people present that they just hustled through a tree to get here.
Sounds accurate.
Like, because all of them had to squeeze through in like 6 seconds. So
Yeah.
that's everybody get a running start. Let's go. And yep, Grandpap is there. He's, hi.
Hi. Hello, person in front of me. Hi, yeah, can you step back for just a moment? Like, nobody,
sorry,
leave yet?
Yes,
Thank you. Yeah,
let's go. Let's go. Everybody this
I
way.
just need to talk to you all real quick. So, like, if you can just gather around, that'd be amazing.
They're shuffling away from you because they don't want to be in this building anymore.
Wait. No, you do need to stay for a moment to just... I need you all to listen currently.
Roll persuasion.
All
Gotta
right,
convince them to stay because they want out.
Well, I mean, if you don't value your life, then sure, but... Okay. Persuasion.
Or intimidation, depending on how you want to take the tone on that.
Persuasion, I'm just like, take it from a doctor. Yeah, I feel like you should listen.
Listen to what he has to say. And they stop
so, yeah,
because Alder told them to.
Oh, thank you. So, yeah, Alder, we have a slight situation. They're gonna need to all go to the temple, yourself included.
What's happening?
We all got hit by spores, and specifically the spores from Einosh can make us vulnerable to him jumping into our bodies and becoming his new host. So a lesser restoration will do wonders. It seems to have cleared our system. We just got that checked. I just know that I don't have enough for all of us. I'm sure you don't have enough for all of us. So we need to stop by.
Taxing, yes. All right, everyone, let's go to the And he sort of puts his hand up to his head. Let's go to the healing place.
Yeah, that should take care of it though. And then you can wander about all you feel like. I don't want you guys to run into trouble and not realize it until it was a little too late.
I appreciate your concern. We'll take a look at that.
Just doing my duty as a healer. So I will let you all do your thing now that message's been delivered. I'm gonna go find a granddaughter. Oh, and
Aiden, you notice little bits of you're not sure what it is, but there's something in the back of Grandpap's head.
Oh,
the back of his hair.
Oh, medicine check. Medicine check.
That's not normal.
Hold
that is
still.
not normal.
Hold still, sir. And he's just like, he was gonna wait for them to go to the doctors, but this is kind of concerning for him. So he goes to the back of his head.
What are you doing?
And he's like,
what?
Hold still. And he just takes his hands and he lights them up and he gently presses like into his scalp with the lesser restoration. And it's like, we're just gonna fix that.
So you're casting lesser restoration on him?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a good head massage you get when you're at like a salon and you're going in for the shampoo. He's just like Grandpaps is getting spoiled right now. He's like, I'm concerned. Let's be gentle.
Okay. So got to make a roll over here.
The rest of them are like, why is this boy touching his head like this?
It's true.
True. Like, this centaur's weird.
Well, gotta share something with you now.
That's my second level. So here we go. Alder was worth it.
So I'm gonna give you a picture in our chat.
Oh dear.
I touched it barehanded.
You touched him. Aiden, you don't feel so good now.
Ah, fuck. Well, time to use my last restoration. Hold on a second, sir. And he just takes his hands to himself and, like, does a, like, rub and then clap into his own hands.
Alright, so you're lesser restorationing him first and then yourself?
And then myself afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, you felt your fingers feeling funky at first, and now you're feeling fine again.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let the other healers know, don't touch barehanded when making a lesser restoration. At least not on the problem spots.
What? Was I sick?
Yes, sir. It's very passable. I have learned. Very passable. I'm out of lesser restorations now.
I appreciate your concern. All right, everyone. Nobody touch anything.
I'm gonna peek at them and see if anyone else just has stuff growing on them, so I can at least point out who's got the worst of it.
Okay.
I guess perception or medicine to check all of them.
Just do a medicine. Like I'm presuming you're looking close enough that you know what to look for.
17.
You don't see anything on the 9 people present that implies any of them got it as bad as he presumably did.
Okay.
And
yeah.
That would kind of track because none of them, to your knowledge, got the full clover bloom.
Yeah, the full blast that we did. Yeah, we kind of got that up front, gust of wind. But Anise is okay. We took care of everything earlier. She got, Penelope, but I figured I'd get you covered so we could make sure we're all good.
Well, thank you. I thought I was just tired from yesterday, but apparently I was coming down with something.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, did the spores drop on the ground, or like after I kind of ran my fingers through his hair?
Oh, that part.
Yeah.
So when you started feeling bad, I assume you flicked your hand a little bit. In which case they would have fallen to the ground. Yeah.
I'm gonna take a cloth this time and just pick him up and wrap him, and
Okay.
show him what it looks like. If you see any of these, or if you want to show these to the healers, it'll be the symptom if they've gotten to a certain stage.
Sure, I'll take this to them and they can study
dissect
this
it.
a bit because this seems
Maybe.
problematic.
Maybe make an antibiotic. I don't know.
I suspect it'll be a little bit before we do a bigger gathering, so I'm going to get checked out, and then I'm going to go to my cabin for a few hours to make sure that I'm not more contagious than I have to be.
Yeah, that should have done the trick, but yeah. I'm gonna go back. Like I said, I'm gonna go look for Anise and Penelope. They went north, so I'm assuming back to the house. I'm gonna head that way if you need me.
Okay, that sounds good.
Catch you
Take
in a
care.
few hours. Thank you. You too. Have a good day, everybody. Just runs off.
Well, everyone
Pass
heard the
Merlin.
centaur. Let's get our asses moving. And they will do that.
Yay.
Is that the way that Aiden's going?
Whichever way is the way to get to the house. I don't
Because
know.
that's not it. So I didn't know you were doing that on purpose or not.
Oh, no. I mean, he probably accidentally. He'll be like, "Ooh, wrong way," and then turns around.
You use your speed to brute force directions.
Yes, he does. I mean, he can climb over anything. Oh, he can climb over anything. Climb over fucking buildings. Taking a shortcut.
Just runs up on the canopy and just runs around until he sees Anis's house.
You know that's actually what he would do. So yeah.
Yeah.
He makes the straightest, most he gets there. He runs.
Fair enough.
In the trees. Yeah.
Okay, so by the time you get there after your stuff, you'll see Anise and Penelope or Anise is inside the house. Penelope and Johnny are outside. I think after a few minutes of playing with that, Penelope and Johnny are probably not doing that for like 20 minutes. It's up to you. What would you like to do?
Well, whenever Aiden gets there, we are so not going to be doing that thing in the
That's
water.
what I assumed. That's why I was just asking, like, what will Aiden find when you get there?
But yeah, that, like, after she showed her the trick, she probably just sat her down to talk about, like, what they had discussed with Lucretia.
Okay.
I don't want to take up everybody's time with that, so...
We can do that on the side later if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. And by now, Anise has successfully deshroomed Derek. So Derek is feeling much better. He has his new clothes. He can now join the party again.
Yay!
Is Anise feeling okay?
Anise is feeling fine.
Okay.
Glad to know we would know immediately if we are not feeling high. That was instantaneous bad tingle vibes.
Yeah. I rolled a secret con save for both of you, and Anise passed hers.
That's fair.
Like, every time any of you have come into contact with this, I've done the rolls, and you just all rolled really well the first time. Derek did not.
I had to roll bad somewheres eventually. Like I said, the intelligence just took up all of his luck.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out. You got the information, and the other one it cost you a spell slot, which isn't great, but you know.
No, it cost me my last second level spell slot.
Just don't find anything. You're fine.
I mean, yeah, that's not the plan for the day. I still have my third, so that's good. Good.
You can use your third level spells to cast second level spells.
Exactly. And Aiden's gonna come back and be like, "Hey, everybody."
Yeah, so I think it's safe to say that where are you all going next, and that will determine if Aiden just finds you at the house or en route to something.
So it's 10:30, correct?
Yeah.
I think... Oh, God, I'm trying to remember. Didn't the enchanter say something about the thing being done around 10?
I think he said
Or
around
was
noon.
that noon?
I think he said noon too.
What?
I think he said noon. Like, we can go check the tapes, so to speak, if I'm wrong, but I think it was noon.
I'm pretty sure you're right on that.
It's like, I remember hearing something about 10, but I don't remember what that 10 was for. If that makes sense.
10 was going to be when this whole thing was originally going to start, but then they had to go get people from Germany.
That's right. That's
so
what
it
I was.
delayed.
Okay. Then, yeah. Gosh, then, yeah. Penelope doesn't have anything planned until around noon or whenever the meeting starts.
Cool.
Like, yeah, because like, other than trying to be like, yeah, hey lady, what's up? But that's neither here nor there.
Right. Does Anise have anything that she wants to do before? Because
No,
you're kind of at the spot
not
now
really.
where we could fast forward to the meeting, or you could go do other stuff if you want. Like,
There's
you've
one
got
thing I have to do
stuffs.
beforehand, but that's it. And it's something on the side, so
Okay.
we could fast forward. But
Yeah.
I just was gonna give her the update, like, hey.
So I guess the better question is, when does the meeting start? Since everybody's back now.
So, not that Penelope necessarily has this information yet, but based on the fact that Alder just got back and said he was going to go spend a few hours by himself, presumably at least a few hours from now.
Yeah.
They're going to have to coordinate that. You can ask around to get an idea, but you can probably assume that someone's going to make the rounds telling people.
Yeah.
Since everyone needs to find out.
Yeah.
Especially
then
the
I
druids
guess-
who are invited.
Yeah. Then, yeah, the only other thing Penelope really wants to try and do before the meeting starts is go stop by the enchanter.
Okay.
I don't know if you two had something you wanted to get to, but
Nope.
Okay. Then in that case, we can go do the enchanter stuff and then call it here, and then the next session can actually be the meeting.
Yeah.
holy shit, we're
in
actually
accordance
getting
with
to
the
the
last
meeting.
summer prophecy of a meeting.
I'll say I did want to update Anise on her grandpap's status.
You can do that. Go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She might want to know that.
Yeah. I was like, that's kind of important. Like, Anise.
I guess we can assume that breakfast has been had and we're all gathered outside.
Yeah, we're doing cinematic timing, even if things don't exactly line up minute to minute. Conceptually, these are things that happened. So you're all outside now.
Sure.
Anise.
Yes.
So your grandpaps is back. Everyone is there. I told him to go check out, the temple, get healed. Well, your grandpaps definitely had some mushrooms on them, so we got rid of that. But then, if you see some mushrooms, don't touch them with your hands, even if you're lesser restorationing them, because that just spreads to you while you're doing it. Long of the short, I can't lesser restoration anymore today.
I'm also out of lesser restorations, and she's gonna kind of pull Aiden to the side and kind of lower her voice so that Derek doesn't hear. Derek had mushrooms growing on him as well.
Oh.
I was able to lesser restoration and get that taken care of. So it spreads through touch.
Yeah, like even if you're even like while you're casting the magic, it seems to just get onto the person. Even if you're getting rid of it, it gets onto you. So you have to cast it again. So definitely recommend gloves. No direct contact. And I told Alder, to let the clerics know, and I passed back one of the mushrooms, so maybe they could potentially in the future make like I don't know, like a protection from it. Is he doing okay?
I'm sorry?
Is he doing okay?
He's fine now.
Okay, what were you saying?
I also gathered up the mushrooms, so potentially anyone that we touched or had contact with needs to be checked over, so we'll need to probably get Johnny, and we
It
will
seemed like only if they had the mushrooms. Like that's the part. Your grandpa had actual mushrooms.
just to be safe, we should probably
Still get Johnny.
call
Yeah.
the castle and tell Kwaku and Echo.
Ooh, yeah. Let's do that. Do you want me? I can. Oh God, what level is sending?
No, we
Sending
can
is a third level
call
spell.
the castle. She just pulls out her cell phone.
Oh, it's that thing. Okay. Yeah, we should definitely call them.
But Derek doesn't know we had mushrooms, so
Do we want to keep it that way, or do we want to actually tell him? Because that's kind of like a big deal.
I kind of don't want to tell him.
Okay. I mean, that's up to you. That's you guys are in your relationship. I am not gonna come between that. But yeah, okay, who else have we touched in a not naughty, nasty way? Here, Penelope on the shoulder. Don't be nasty.
Don't do it.
So there's Germany group. Are your parents okay? Have you touched their hands at all? Have you hugged them?
We should probably, honestly, we should probably have everyone in Sherwood
Honestly, just
looked at.
Yeah, no. I know the clerics are not going to be happy, but yeah, I agree.
Just to be safe.
Extra safe. You know, spreads fast. We don't like that. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Lesser restoration. Gargle. Lesser restoration. I gotta go talk to Nina.
Is there okay? So DM question: is there like a mayor of the Sherwood settlement, or like one person that can make big announcements for the whole town, or
just like in general, like what is the local structure of government?
yeah.
Yeah, they have a relatively trying to think. You'd think I'd remember the word from civics class or whatever. But for the most part, they don't have a hierarchy of government. It's, you know, a lot of people doing their own task for the sake of doing their own task elf-wise. But in terms of like someone who acts as a leader, like, yeah, it usually would fall on let me get NPC. It's one of the actual faction leaders. Not shockingly.
Not Scribe, hopefully.
Nope, he's not gonna do anything that involves him doing something.
So they don't have a sheriff of, say, Nottingham.
Well, they have the leader of the Rangers, so she might be the person you're actually thinking
of.
Oh,
that's
for
fair.
that purpose.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah,
Sariel would probably be the best one for that. She's not actually in charge of the village, but she's kind of in charge of the village safety.
Yeah, so we'll probably need to have her spread the word that, you know, just to be safe, get yourself lesser restoration.
Get yourself vaccinated against.
Oh my god.
The shrew.
None of this was intended to be public service or reflective of real life, but it's kind of funny how it is.
Yeah. Just to be safe, we should all wear masks and stand 6 feet
We're going to be doing our contact chasing here. Like, who did you come into contact with now that you've proven that you've got it?
Yeah.
None of that was really meant to be a thing, but here we are.
Here we are.
Disease 101.
Yeah.
Anise, as much as I don't like Scribe, I did kind of break down his door and go into his house. I mean, I didn't like touch him per se. I passed tea to Mr. Hierophant. Do we have his phone number?
I don't know that he has a phone. That'd be a Penelope question.
I will send to him.
There's Mr. Montgomery. I think he bench pressed us.
Okay, he did bench press us, but he's also at Sherwood. I am concerned about Mr. Hierophant because God only knows who else he's talked to.
Yeah.
In the span of a morning and an evening. I don't know.
I just would like to note how much fun the entire Truth or Dare thing was for me. Paying attention to who touched who.
Oh, right, Margaret.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Like I said, we've got to contact the entire Germany crew. We gotta get Johnny and everybody's getting the goddamn shrooms fucking vaccination. Let's go. Yeah. let's get that announcement rolling, Anise. I feel like you would know who to go to.
Okay. All
Hop-
right.
Hop
So,
on my back. Let's be speedy about this one.
well, I think you could actually get to the barracks quickly. Um, I can't really. I'm out of. Well, I could still cast Lesser Restoration if I needed to 3 more
And
times.
I wasn't saying if we
I
make the
have it.
announcement, everybody can gather up and just all start heading to the temple. I don't know who to go to.
Right.
We should probably get back to Johnny and Penelope and them because if they're all together and we got Penelope fixed, but if Johnny's contagious, she touches Penelope again. It's he's just like this is a healer's worst nightmare. So he's just like shaking. He's just like, God, it's so contagious.
At this point, Penelope and Johnny walk out from the pod. They're holding hands.
Oh God, he turns on. Johnny! He just sees them holding hands. He's like, oh. I'm here now.
Rude.
I literally can't hear what you're saying because you're screaming so loud that it is making the sound gate.
Oh no. Penelope? Johnny?
What?
I'm gonna need you both to come here right now.
Oh no, are we in trouble?
Maybe? Question mark.
Oh,
Come here, please.
Is he one of
We
those
were
people
being
who isn't okay
nasty.
with this?
Anise is just walking right past them back to her family.
Okay, yeah, you go take care of that. I'll run.
Sariel at the barracks would be the best person to inform other than my grandfather.
Okay, I'll go there in just a sec. Yeah, you both might need to go to the temple again.
We never went.
Well, sorry, you need to probably go there. I know you just got lesser restoration, Penelope. But Johnny may actually be contagious. And you're touching and holding hands. Yeah, so it's like really contagious.
What
you
is...
know, the shroom spores we were talking about earlier.
But you got rid of that.
Yeah, okay, but Johnny, you definitely, yeah. So Johnny didn't have it at the time, but if you touched Johnny's hand before we had lesser restoration to you, which you probably did, I'm not gonna lie. You guys are, you like to hold hands.
What are you talking about?
You might have just spread it to Johnny accidentally, and then Johnny spread it probably back to you. Potentially. You both might be fine. But as a healer, in my professional opinion, I feel like you should both go to the temple and just get lesser restoration one more time.
Oh God, okay. Is there a way to tell? Did we figure out a way to tell? Or is it just kind of a you don't know until...
They can see it there. They've got skills to see it. So again, the temple would be the best bet. I'm just concerned that potentially, even if there weren't any mushrooms on your body, if the spores are just enough to start passing it along, I feel it would be safer just for you to go back there first before anything. We're about to alert the whole town that they're just going to need to have a doctor check up.
Oh God. Do I have mushrooms on me?
I don't think so. Let me double check. And I'll do a medicine check on her. Boop. Motherfucker.
Nothing you've seen.
Yeah, nothing I see. I don't see any, but again, if the spores are enough, are you feeling bad? Because you can tell pretty immediately. Well, I mean, if it doesn't pass immediately. Just let them check you over. They'll tell you if you have any or not. And that's just, I just don't have the set for that currently. And I've kind of gone through all my lesser restorations helping Grandpa.
Okay.
You should be fine.
I think I'm... Let's say I think I'm feeling okay.
Just like a quick trip. Just like a quick trip, where they do like the little you like put your tongue out, let them look at it. They do their magic and just double check. Like I said, if anything, you're scot-free and you don't have to worry about a lesser restoration. And then you can just go on your merry way. But just to be...
Johnny, are you feeling okay?
As far as I can tell.
Okay. We're probably clear then, but Iron seems pretty serious about this.
Is this what it's like to be like in a country with healthcare?
I guess so, huh?
Free doctor visits. Please go to your local cleric.
A very special episode of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, so I guess we'll go there before we hit up the enchanters.
Yeah. All right, just to save a bunch of map dragging.
Yeah.
I was like, are they clear?
They're both fine.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. While I'm there, can I make a perception check to see if I see Nora?
Sure.
And just TLDR, he runs over to the barracks and tells the lady, we don't need to go through that.
You also do not see Nora.
He's a ninja.
Nora, where are you?
I legitimately thought you would run into Nora within 10 episodes of getting here, but here we are.
She's avoiding us.
She's just like, I see those bitches and I know what they're up to and I don't want any part of that. But yeah, so I guess once we get checked and once I don't see Nora, I'm going over to the enchanter.
Sure. Fair enough. Yeah, the enchanter has successfully finished making your thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you have
Then I'm gonna
your
ask him about the
rainbow water jug thing now.
or the glitter endless glitter
yeah.
water.
The glitter decanter.
That's gonna be fun the next time we have to summon the lady.
She's gonna be like Lisa Frank as hell.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, and then she's gonna ask him about enchanting the necklace to prevent scrying.
All right, first let me add the thing back to your inventory so I don't forget. Did I ever take it out of your inventory?
I don't think you did. No. Yeah, it's still in there. It says fancy blue summoning vase.
Okay, I will update it then.
Hooray. It's blue. It's fancy. It summons.
There you go.
Fancy blue summoning vase. Sparkly.
There you go. It works.
Hooray.
It does its job. I'm also going to actually add the text for the water part since it makes its own water now.
Yeah.
Fancy water time.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
Look
just
at that.
literally glittering water.
Yeah, I'm gonna add the full rules. So this is gonna function the same as the decanter of endless water, which is an actual D&D thing.
Right.
And I'm just gonna drop all that text in here for your benefit, so that you know the ways it can be used. Just understand that for yours, it's also glittery.
Good.
Excellent. Good.
So what did you get in Sherwood? Well, you see.
So I'm getting rid of the freshwater or salt water and adding in or glitter water. There you go.
I love that. Stream produces 1 gallon of water. Fountain produces 5 gallons of water. Geyser produces 30 gallons of water that gushes forth in a geyser 30 feet long and 1 foot wide. So much fucking water.
It does stuff too.
It's a fucking weapon now.
Yeah. I'll
Someone
add the programming for that
take it
weapon
out
to
with
your
the water.
attack list later.
Oh my god.
You have a super soaker now. You are properly equipped as Summer Penelope.
Yeah.
You're now an archer. You have a 30-foot range attack.
Please do not summon me in the Holy Grail.
Pretty sure Summer Penelope would be this version, and you'd probably be wearing something that's really cute in the first level. Probably, like, also cute, but actually less revealing in the second level, and then inappropriate in the third level in the final CE art. Because that's what I've learned from Fate Grand Order. That's how that works.
Yep.
Yeah, you got your item now.
Yeah.
All right, and you're asking about the anti-scrying thing?
Yeah.
That's a bit of a challenging one, but I can ask around and see how it's done. Like, we don't really worry too much about scrying here, but I can see what I can do.
Yeah, or something.
That necklace?
Yeah, or something protective.
I'll see what I can come up with. I mean, at the very least, I suppose you could sleep in a tiny hut or something, but that doesn't sound practical.
And I already know
I'll
how
give
to
it a
do
go. I'll
tiny
see what I
hut.
can do.
Yeah. Okay. And should I check back about that?
I'll ask around a bit. I suspect most of the people that would be asking are going to be at that meeting for a bit, but I'll tell you what. Check back in later today. Just, are you doing the meeting? I don't think you're a druid, but if you're going to be going with your druid friends or something, just drop back in and I'll tell you what I can do. If it's something that is easy, I'll go ahead and do it just to knock it out. If it takes time, then you can drop off the necklace then.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and drop off the necklace now, and then I'll come back after the meeting.
Okay, if that works for you, then we can do that. All right.
That works for me.
Cool. Then you do so. I will update its location from Johnny to Enchanter. Unless you want me to put his actual name on there and you get Lausian.
That implies that he's wearing it.
Right. So that's why it's currently just at Enchanter Shop. Why not?
He gets it back and he's like, I just want to wear it and feel pretty for 5 minutes.
This is for me. No one pays me anything. I do what I want. But okay, yeah, he'll get to work on that. One way or another, he'll figure something out. Whether it's the standard you can't scry or something else remains to be seen. But
yeah.
In the meantime,
Right.
you now have the ability to glitter blast someone from 30 feet away, which is what Penelope secretly always wanted.
I mean, you're not wrong. Oh no, she's just gonna be like, all right, guys, I told you, don't be nasty. This is your last warning. Just opens the door.
Yeah.
Yay!
Cool.
We have to. I assume we have to wrap up.
Yeah, it has become the time. But
Gross.
we are in a good position for next session to jump directly into actual game story.
Yay!
Yay!
Hooray. And hey, look, nobody got turned into a mushroom monster.
Yay! Always a good thing.
It helps.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, we can wrap this up. I will make sure that my computer learns that it in fact has over a terabyte free, and then hopefully get things posted shortly. So, hurrah.
Yay!
Yahoo!
Cool.
Great, well, good night, Internet. Thank you for putting up with our weird multi-part stream thing, because it shows me we were live for 48 minutes this time, which means it definitely disconnected for at least a moment. Huzzah.
Good night, Internet.